Oh, I'm late. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm like it could have been worse. Thank God I looked at the time in the perfect time. Anyways, I could have watched this damn thing I was watching the whole time if it not streamed. Anyways, mistakes. Mistakes happen. It was the whole thing. This. 2 minutes late. Unforgivable, says Lone. I was like, you know when you're okay, like you have enough time, like you did it. Give me a sec. This is here, and then this, and the button. This one. Is that right? No, wrong one. Panic. This one. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? How are you this fine day? By the by, hot damn. Yeah, I was I was watching this Manhwa recap. I've been really into them recently. I'm sorry, but yeah, I was watching it and I was like, oh, it's like I got everything situated. It was like 4:30. And I was like, all right, I got 30 minutes to kill. Sure, let's watch this thing that I've had queued up forever. And I finally watched it, and yeah, I looked down and I was like, oh my god, I was so entranced. I could have won another 20 minutes if the video happened to last that long. Turns out we 3 minutes over, but not bad. By the way, I have not drank any of my coffee. So let's just fucking down it and get after it, all right? What is good, Lone? What is good, Sir Raccoon? It's been a hot minute. Also, Spark says, truly unforgivable. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Again, demonstrous, awful. I also went and seen a Dream Home today. I think you guys have them probably in your place as well. A Dream Home, it's like a contest. They're kind of like the lottery, except for houses. This year's Dream Home, not that fire. Honestly, there was one right beside it that was also for sale, and it was significantly better. It is so weird. This Dream Home had this thing where it had like really high ceilings. Basically, it was like a basement, but with really high ceilings. And that made the basement feel spacious as hell, man. Made it feel like a whole ass house. Like, you know, like sometimes basements feel a little like kind of like, sure, this is there, but people don't really care about them. I like it. It's a space. But with just the high ceilings, made it feel like a different beast. Yeah. But man, the more I look at those kind of like really ritzy houses, the more I would rather, this is nuts, but I would rather buy a house with potential, like an older house with, it's not like good bones, and then build what you exactly want from it. Because in the Dream Home, they're the same shit that you always see in every damn, like expensive house, which is like wine coolers, like a lot of them. Okay. And like a theater room. But it's just a theater room. Like, it's just a whole ass room dedicated to 2-hour films, and that's it. And you're like, Jesus Christ, this is a very deep investment for a 2-hour movie watch. It seems weird. Anyways, but yeah, it's like the weird things that people say, that's what people want. And I'm like, maybe. Yeah. Spark says, must be difficult to look at the yard during the winter. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Although... we have a place in Canada that's like really it's like a place that is like a cul-de-sac, but it's just for rich ass people. Like houses are just giga huge. You don't have a big yard, but you have a crazy big house. I think it's also a Canada thing where like you said, Sparks, is like winter, snow everywhere, so like you'd rather have a very big nice interior rather than a lot of land that's just going to be caked in snow for half the year. I say that I still like the land a lot, though. I like the privacy, is what I would say. Although, how is your Sunday going, ladies and gentlemen? Ugh. I'm also drinking a Monster, which, by the way, not bad, this one. It's called a Zero Ultra. It's not the worst. You gonna be right back, sir? Sir Raccoon? Absolutely, got it. All right. That's a lot of coffee. Okay, let's do things. We have a lot to do. I have a lot to do. If you guys want to be a part of it, you can. Otherwise, we're just gonna be hanging out. Also, I feel so cheated. Like I cheat myself. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get the 3rd day. Actually, maybe it'll count. I hope so. Tomorrow I'll have to make sure to log in and get this. Oh, also, I still need to kill the fucking beasts. Oh, god damn it. Oh, so much to do. Also, there's this. I'm gonna throw up in my mouth. Sorry, chug that coffee and like so much air in that. Is this the same or did this diff? No, it's the same. Okay, so we don't need to do this shit if we don't want to. I think this is the battle royale people were talking about, maybe. But what I do know is we have the baseline stuff to do, which is dailies, disgusting dailies, endless, forever dailies. Give me that. Ooh, we got the big pooba, and then we got this. We're gonna go to Vera. Boom. Oh, look at that, boys. That's what we love to see. A lot of submissions. Just bang. Done. Oh, also, I should, come on, do you mean my controller back? There we go. There, now you can hear things. It's a tiny bit. Tiny bit. Basket says, yeah, FR grin, can't be late like that. Sorry, it's 2 minutes. But again, it's not so much that we weren't actually that late, but it was that I knew it could have got bad. Like, again, have you ever been so entranced by something where you're just watching it and you're like, oh, right, I had to do something. What was that again? What time? Oh my God, it's time. It's time. I was like, you could have easily just been like, and I'm coasting and I'm just continuing to ignore and just get locked in. You know what I mean? It can happen. We need to kill lizards. Let's go. What is good, Red? How are you? Guys, I'm about this close to start reading manhwa. All right? And I don't know if I ever wanted to be that kind of person. Okay? I already don't watch manga. All right? I got standards. I got no time. One. But a lot of these damn stories seem fire as hell. I feel like that's gonna be the next frontier. You know what I mean? Like all of these shows that are going buck wild for isekai. You know, that was the thing that took the anime world by storm. Okay? Oh, gotta get close. But I think that's the next frontier, boys. I think it's like it's just like better visuals and more in-depth mechanics. Although maybe if I read the manga version of anime, like Shield Hero and shit, it would be as intricate, etc. But yes. Spark says, I had a super rich friend in high school that had an enormous cedar room with all lazy boy recliner. Yeah, man, to me, like, as much as I think that's neat, it's like, there's a lot of things in life which are like, it sounds good in theory, but I don't know if it's as good as you think it would be. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck needs so many wine cooler things, you know? Whereas the Dream Home did do one thing that was pretty cool. It had, it was kind of like you know when you see a house that makes use of the attic in like a really clever way? Well, they did this really cool thing where they made it like almost like a nook, where it was like a basement in the attic feeling. But it was really cozy. It almost felt like if you were a teenager and were up there, there was a bathroom, there was a room, there was like this nice kind of like hangout area, and of course you got like skylights basically on all the sides. It just looked like it's weird. It's like there's this feeling that a room or a house or a place can have, rather than just features. Like there's features and there's like a feeling that has, you know, whether that's like one thing I see a lot of, it's like a pyramid shaped house, but the pyramid like peak is all windows, and that just like lets like light just shimmer in, and that just feels like, oh my God, this is insane. Although, what happens at nighttime? Because that's got to be creepy as hell if that's a two-way mirror, you know what I mean? But yeah. Again, with our current day and age, unless you're, getting into the weeds of crypto weirdness and investing this and that, I don't know if housing like that is a reality anymore for us. All right, I know there's a lot of like subsidies that are going on right now, especially in Canada, or like at least in Vancouver. Vancouver is the same as New York City at this point. It's just like the tiniest bit of nothing will cost millions and millions of dollars. You know what I mean? Also, Sparks, my God, you're on episode 682 of, let me guess, One Piece? Yes, One Piece. Ugh. Although I'm honestly, I don't know. I feel like right now for me, the ones I would want to start, which are like giga huge, is Bleach and then One Piece. That's the tier. And I don't really have interest in other ones, you know. I know there's Naruto. It's probably great. I just, yeah. But I heard nothing. I heard a lot of people, let me put it this way. With the sheer amount of volume that One Piece has, I see people have like an incredible amount of love for that thing. that series. Whereas like Bleach is good, but would people still love the shit out of Bleach if it had 1,000 episodes, basically? You know what I mean? Like, maybe it would get a little played out at that point. But I still know people who are fucking buck wild. Although maybe for the One Piece people, it's like Stockholm Syndrome. I don't know. Can we not hit me right now, man? I just want to exist. We have to do one thing, though. Let's go to... Can we do this even if it's going to say we're... No, okay, take me away. Basket says, probably gonna have to leave in a couple of minutes because I'm driving to the gym right now. Damn, I have to get a Mr. Grace. It's all good, Basket. Get those gains. Get bulky as fuck. What's on the platter today? We got legs. We got a mixture of the two. We got upper body. We got push. We got pull. We got cardio. What is it? Hit me with it. I don't know anyone who does legs on fucking Sunday. That's fucking brutal. Shit. Starting Monday in pain. Actually, no, it'd be Tuesday, which would be pain, but still. I had a super Lone says, my Sunday is great, Grim. Played some Deathverse and the Nakia game. Made an Eagle rank 2, and I'm top 50. God damn. In Deathverse? Because you say Nikki, I made it to Eagle. I think that's right. Red says, hello, I finally finished the modding and the texture aspect of the mod. Just need to put it in the game now, which is actually the easiest part. I want to know what this is. I want to know what this mysterious Hadada mod is at this point, Red. When you're finished, put it in one of the shall not be named places on our Discord, okay? Spark says, One Piece episode Bang Bang. Naruto has the best main character in my opinion. One Piece has an incredible story with no filler. Yeah, but is it like edgy? Not even edgy. Is it like the Linkin Park kid in my brain that I can't like not have? Is it kind of like I'm a demon and I got like a fucking 6 forms, or I wear a cool mask that like eats people or something? That's where Bleach starts to be like, I mean, hey, you're fucked up and weird, but yeah, I got you. Nub says, Grin, you really need to read them. I love it. The ending is something. The manga season ended. What does that mean? I was so happy. What do you call it, Nub? Because I was watching a lot of these like mangas, and I just said that I think like manhwa has what like right now there was like this spark of anime that happened from isekai, like that it was okay, it was kind of cool, decent. But then there was like this huge spike of like isekai fantasy shows that kind of leveraged fun ideas that were goofy, and now people are arguing that it's maybe played out, but still that did a lot for people. Maybe it kind of started with Sword Art or something like that, but regardless, that was something that propelled the animation scene in a big way. My Hero is also one of those things, etc. But I think a lot of the manhwa stories seem like it just seems awesome, like way cleverer. Like I'm watching one right now, which is, I remember there was an anime that people absolutely shit on, which was called like Reincarnated with a Smartphone or something like that, and it's just known for being like one of the most half-baked, not very good anime ever. It's like a harem anime. Dude gets a cell phone, gets like buy shit, etc. But I watched the video I was watching right now. I can actually pull it up. It's right here. It's this one. It's called this. You can't see it because shit's in the way. But anyways, that's what I was watching before the stream. That got me locked in. But anyways, the premise of that show is the premise of that mon was pretty cool too. It's similar beat, except, you know, all of them kind of taken this, they had the same premise as Solo Leveling, which is like, there's like gates and like demons come into the world, but like it's modern day and you have superpowers. Anyways, point is that the dude plays like a shitty app game where he has to like crush ants. And in this app game, he's a god. So he's like crushing ants. But in this goofy game, he gets access to like an inventory, a shop, where he can buy like god level items. So he's playing this shitty ant game and he's getting like these overpowered items, but it's like, it's written in such a way that it's like fucking sucks. Like it sucks to get coins this way. And there's like random encounters that happen where like this like priestess ant begs him to save her, and he ends up like doing that, and then he ends up like having like his own religion. He's called like the evil god is what they refer to him as, or the nameless god. So then he gives himself a name and he starts building up his worshippers, and it's all on his phone. I thought that's really clever. Like, it's not just like, here's a phone and here's your overpowered bullshit. It's like, no, here's shitty, dumb app games that suck ass and are tedious, but actually backed by a fuck ton of power, and here you go. And it's an interesting concept. I like it. But the reason why I got so happy when I see Nub say, like, you gotta watch the ending, is because out of all of the manhwa that I've seen, the one about the guy who dies constantly and resets, that one seemed like it was the most clever narrative story that I've read or that I've seen, with exception to the beginning. And Nub backed that up immediately. He's like, the beginning shit. The beginning doesn't help. It's like the most rushed, doesn't explain anything. It's like the guy had the beginning, or sorry, the middle and the end mapped out and had no fucking idea how he got to the beginning. And he just said, it's like here, and he rushed. But that one to me seemed like it was pretty good. Although the way, with Nub liking it so much, it worries me. I wonder if it's like, actually the main villain dies at the end, or or he ends up becoming the evil monster or something. And I'm like, Nub, don't do this to me. Don't make it depressing and horrible. I want it to all be good and all to work out and not to be a nightmare. But although the main character in that manhwa also doesn't seem to be perfectly virtuous either. So yeah, he ends up he's actually kind of a piece of shit. He lies a lot, all that, yeah. Which maybe that's the reason why me and Nub think he's a decent main character. Red says, I did record a video of it finished in the Blender. I could share that, but I doubt you could watch it on Twitch. Yeah, no, put it there. I would like an update so we can refer to the thing that shall not be named. The video clip that shall not be named on streams. Just to have it there. Because we keep hearing about it, and I'm like, I need to see what the heck this thing is. It seems like it's been quite the pain in the ass to make. Nub says, I still think that the manga is not something I'd recommend because it's early, inconsistently, is still really, no, again, I think the beginning is rough. But also, I think the beginning is also interesting enough. The idea that, like, this guy, if they do what they do in the recap video I watched, which is they just kind of, like, synopsize the beginning really, like, a lot. They're like, he gets a skill. Okay, now he kills the guy. Okay, good, we're there. It basically starts there, with him, like, quickly, and he killed the guy who he's doing. Okay, now it starts, and that's when I think the show gets pretty good, is when he kills the Fire Emperor. Or manhwa, sorry, manhwa. Nub says, I still think the manga, Lone Cigarette says, yes, Dance Force Grin, I was going off, just win after win, also doing my ranked game session, I got into a special match, and live on Twitch, and I won my first special match, and I got set 27, wait, what? Wait, I got into a special match that was live on Twitch? I'm gonna throw up in my mouth. Sorry. Down in that coffee, with so many other liquids in my stomach. Not a good call. Oh, you got also side thing. I had brats today, dude. I don't know what it is about brats, like the far superior hot dog. It's basically just fat. It's just fat and all that stuff. I don't know what it is about brats. I've never felt horrible eating brats. They're just like, I don't know what it is if my body craves like just fat because because the exercise or whatever it is or fasting. But yeah. Far superior hot dog. Fighting words. Really? You don't like brats? I always thought brats weren't that great until I had them and I thought, holy fuck, it's delicious. It's so good. Hot dogs to me, well, it depends. If you get those like Costco hot dogs that are like super fucking juicy, maybe. If you get the Orange Julie's hot dog, maybe. But bare minimum, pound for pound, you got a cheap ass brat versus a cheap ass hot dog at like a superstore or some shit. Against each other? Nah. Maybe that's what we should scale it as. Brats are the far better, cheaper alternative for value of taste. Okay. Luxury hot dog. In Another World with My Smart. That's what it was called. Yeah. That was the one it was called. Also, I normally don't like Monster. The Zero Ultra one, not bad. I personally prefer Japanese over Korean, but I will admit Korean ones have been better. Yeah, I was about to say, they're just to me like the weird ideas seem like they really get it. Like, but also does seem like they're copying each other so much. Like that's evident. Everything looks like it's a copy of Solo Leveling in some way, but you know, at least they're improving the pushing like their weird idea further, I guess. It's almost like I'll take what you did, but I'll build on top of it a little bit, and that's what everyone seems to be doing. There is a Japanese variation that's also interesting, but it is people instead of ants. Yeah, I can see how they could pivot that real quickly. Noah says, by the way, your worry is exactly the reason why I want you to read it. No, no. Is it actually a story of like the Demon King or some shit? I don't know. That's what worries me. That's why I wanted Noah to read it so I could ask him like, does it remain good or does it get to be like that? Because I don't like what. Okay. No, please genuinely reply to me. Is it a story that ends in a way that makes you feel satisfied, or does it end in a way that's like, oh, everybody dies, the main character is a monster, yeah, or is it like, nah, it still remains like okay, even if the demon was one was fine. Which one? By the way, you're worried. Why don't you read it? The way I would fix the beginning is by literally having the main character walk into his death a few times. Yeah, I agree. Radiant says, Grin, I woke up early than usual today, and I'm sad about it. Why? Did you get so much more done? Why is it, I always feel kind of good. Like it sucks when you wake up early, but when you're like, hey, look at all these hours I had to watch some fun shows and whatnot and like relax on YouTube, you know what I mean? With that being said though, everyone's getting sick, so you're probably best to get a lot of sleep. So probably best to make sure you get that checked off. It says hot dogs are hella hit or miss. I agree. Well, I don't know about that. It's sometimes a fire cooked hot dog is usually a hit, but I feel like I can have like 5 brats and just be a glutton, and each one of them hit like a truck. Like they're so delicious. And then a hot dog, if I have more than 2, I'm starting to feel like this is just this is bad meat. You know, this is like the baseline unhealthiest shit. Every other chunk of meat blended up together, as my dad calls them, assholes and belly buttons, is what hot dogs are. And that's like, okay. Whereas brat is like the fat of the animal, I guess. I don't know. What's this thing? Sorry for the horrible thing to come into. Lone says, Grin, just send me an invite. Sorry, I gotta kill one more person. This time I gotta nip in the butt real quick, and then we'll do some events. Radiant says, but I'm sleepy. Oh, I got you, Max. I see. Yeah, that's rough. You don't want to. I mean, what time is it for you right now? Because like right now it's 5:25 for me, and I'm drinking an energy drink, so I probably would be in the same boat. And if I wasn't drinking an energy drink, I'd be drinking tea, which has high caffeine in it, so it's cheating. But yeah, you want it in one of the not safe for work channels? Yeah, keep it, or maybe share your Grin. That's what you should do. You just put in the share your Grin tab. But put it as a spoiler, so like it's blocked, and then maybe put like a little message at the top of it saying like, hey, by the way, this is some risque content if you want to come and watch this, so people can avoid it. Also, I could, if it's not like, I hope that I don't accidentally open up my Discord and it's like, bah! I'm like, oh no, I'm banned. The Demon King 1 was fine. Which one was that? Which one was the Demon King one again? But the next one is even worse. The only real answer I can give is yes. Oh, so it has a negative ending? Oh, I don't want to watch it then. I want it to be a happy ending. Do they do that shit where like the main character is like they swap out the main? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to read it now. That was the one I was really. Oh, no, it's a happy ending. You lying to me? You fucking lying to me? Okay, so if it's a somewhat happy ending, like people don't die. It's not like the Attack on Titan hellscape. of an ending, then I'll read it. Because that was the one I was gonna read today, but then we went and seen a Dream Home, and it kind of he lost time. Hold the line, Lone. No. Everyone. Oh, okay. But it's a good thing. Everyone goes, but it's even him who can't die. He gets reset, or is like no, you want him to die because they make him a real piece of shit, maybe. Huh. You need to read it. I don't know if I want to read it now, though, Nub. I knew I was worried when you started saying it was starting to get good. That worried me a lot. I was like, me and Nub aren't always one-to-one in terms of what we enjoy. So I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, it gets everyone's a monster, right? Uh-oh. You need to read it. I want it to be as vague as possible. How will I feel at the end of it? That's what I want to know. How will I feel like, oh, I wasted my time, like it was basically like nothing, this journey didn't matter, or will it be like, no, it has some redeeming thing. I don't know what I want you to say, honestly. Oh, I might read it, I don't know. I was really game to read it before you told me that everyone dies. You know? Yeah. Because if that, and like, no, that is the good ending. And I'm like, well, see, that's even worse. That means all the characters I already kind of like are monsters, pieces of shit, or die for nothing, or something, I don't know. Satisfied and in tears. Yes, I don't want that. I don't want that. Damn you. What was the one film I also watched that I thought, oh no, it's that vibe of like it's content, but it's like this hero ending where the hero sacrifices himself or some shit. Ugh. I wanted him to have happily ever after with that green-haired girl, even though we barely know what kind of person she really is. But she is already best girl in that show. Quickly! Hurry up and die! Or I die. Oof, alright. We've got our baseline resources. Wait, before I do that, chill, you can stop hitting me. Get up here, and then we'll do this. I might die to that. Quickly! Then leave. Alright. What's good, Bolty? I posted a nice red. Rainade said, let me know when my help is needed in Tower Fantasy. In the meantime, I'm playing Dead Cell. Well, I think we just got the thing to grind. If you did want to jump in, we could do our... What is it called? This thing? Is it? No, is it? Yeah, it's this. And we only got one to do, so if you don't... Yeah, yeah. It depends. If you want to just hang, it's fine. But we basically are just doing the event, which is like a grind. Should I send Lone an invite, I guess? Friends. Boppity. Team invite. Goblins also here. I'm not sure if I'll send you an invite just in case. Nub says, I fucking hate hero endings. Gurren Lagann is the main reason why I hated it. So it's not that, at least. Is it like a villain ending? Because I would take that. If the main character is supposedly like the Demon King and he sits atop the throne and is like, hey, fuck all of you, and he kills all the heroes, I would appreciate that rather than that he dies and, yeah, you know? Although, man, I really like the butler. Like the butler, like the sword saint, the guy who's like trying to get him to bang his granddaughter or something like that because he's like, oh, you're such a good person, or oh, I'm sorry. I like him. So does he die? Ah, fuck. God damn it. Mistakes were made. This damn fucking dumb nonsense thing. So much hostile enemies around us. Alright. This, and then this, and then party, go. Go. Nub says, you need to read. I know, I gotta know. I don't know what I gotta know. You know, don't tell me. Well, I'm spoiling it for everyone else as well. I just hope it doesn't have an ending, because you say satisfying and in tears. The in tears part I don't like. A lot of people tell me how good what the fuck is it called? Your Lie in April's is. And I'm like, get away from me. You no longer can suggest me shows. That's how I feel. immediately defensive and angry at them. Because I know how fucking horrible. I've seen little clips of, what do you call it? Your Lie in April. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. You piece of goddamn garbage. Want me to feel like trash and be a sopping, disgusting mess. No. No. And that's where I feel like we're like, it's satisfying, but you're going to be upset. And I'm like, but that's sad. I still sadness. I don't want, guys, I already go through some shit. I don't want to be more, I need to seek happiness. Okay? Because goddamn. Ah, my eye. Ooh, we got the thing. Hooah. I am slightly faster. Well. Hooah. Uh-oh. I knew I could accidentally kill myself. Accidentally. Where is everybody? Like, what? It says there's 5, but there's like 1, 2. Is there people up top? I have no idea where everybody else is. 1, 2, 3. It must be some person up top. Just, yeah, right there. Right there. Okay, you were nowhere near me, and then you just were on me. Well, we got 500. It's not the worst. Ah, my eye. Lone says, is Your Lie in April bad? No, it's just like, it's, you know, hey, have you ever watched Bridge to Terabithia and got really fucked up by it? Where you're like, oh my God, this is like the sweetest tomboy girl ever. Kind of maybe for a lot of us introduced us to tomboy people and being like, that's the fucking best thing ever. Anyways, and then she dies and you're like, wow, fuck you, dude. You never heard it? Oh, wow. You never seen Bridge to Terabithia? That fucked a lot of kids up. Yeah, basically, it'd be like, here's an amazing kid, or an amazing person, and then they die. And then you have to watch like this kid deal with like the deep depression of loss, and you're just like, the fuck off, you son of a bitch. Fuck that movie, right? Too much. God damn you! I thought I was gonna see a cool adventure movie about imagination, and instead you out here hurting people. Okay. Ugh. Boldy said, how's it going? It's going good. Boldy, how about you? Also, Grin, I'm watching All of Us Are Dead, and I gotta say, all the K-drama shit is real good. What's that? Oh yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about the Korean films and stuff like that. Same thing with Japanese, all that stuff. The only thing I will never really understand is like the anime versions of like of movies and TV shows. I'll never get that. It's just too much for me. Maybe eventually I'll just be like, fuck it. But it seems like way too goofy and like cringy. I'm sure it's acceptable. I don't know if it's the same thing. I imagine it's different, but I've seen a couple of like ones on Netflix where I was just like, what? No, stop. But to each their own, all that. Probably jump into the event, grind it just cause behind. Yeah. Wrong one. The ending is fucked. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're saying the ending is fucked? Oh no. It's not a great movie, honestly. Which is Bridge to Terabithia or what was it? Okay, what was the end? The ending is fucked. What is that? Bridge to Terabithia or the anime? Because if you say the anime ending is fucked, that's All right. Well, Nova's gonna snatch that little thing up right there. Give me speed. All right, we can't get nothing. We get nothing. We have to survive. Oof. Big oof. Goblin. Leave him alone. Ha-ha! Get fucking wrecked. Stupid orb-having bitch. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Come over here. Come over here into the Thunderdome. Who is that? Who is trying to kill me? Like, hellbent. Oh, did they fall? I think they fell into the ground. Yes. Oh, look at this. Big Mama coming. Hey. Hey. You. Why aren't you getting bopped around? I think I'm lagging like crazy right now. Hey. Stop it. Get. Shoe. Did I die? Oh, Terabithia. Okay, the Terabithia ending was. Yeah, no, I agree. It was such a. You know what's bullshit though? It was such a fun, enjoyable film. That was like about fucking shit. That was not fucking shit. It kind of was. But it was such like a wonderful film that was like filmed beautifully. Like the animators worked their heart out. It was gorgeous. For it to all just be a depressing, horrible nightmare. You know what I mean? Like, God damn it. If you just cut that part out and like if you literally, oh man, I wish there was a super cut of like the ending, which was just like literally she doesn't die, they hang out, they have good times, maybe there's like a bully thing where they fight back, all that stuff, and then it hard cuts to them like 15 years in the future, and she's holding the baby. It'd be great. It'd be like, oh fucking just joy in a film. How do you spell that? If you just type in bridge to T, it will pop up for sure. I hate sad, depressing ending. Yeah, me too, Red. Me too. I can't. Well, with that being said, the Bridge to Terabithia has a somewhat good ending where it's like, I mean, you know, he has imagination and he's less of a dickhead to his sister, but it's kind of like not good enough. Still super sad. It's like when the whole message is, well, life goes on. It's like, well, the fuck it, what? I was gonna say the fuck it shouldn't, but yeah, man, ugh. Honestly, I personally like that. I hate him so much. Again, to me, your life has to be going real good to be like, I want to see misery, more misery, because yeah. I feel like, I'm like, you know what? I'm already kind of hanging on by a thread. I don't need any more pressure. Just snap this cord. Okay. Nub says, I personally like sad endings, but Terabithia was just awful. Bodhi says, yeah, the comic adaptations are a bit cringe, but they have great humor. Yeah, I can see humor, because that's just leveraging like the goofiness of it. But yeah. Red says, I'm sad and depressed enough in life. I don't need movies to increase. That's kind of how I feel. I remember that's how I felt when I was when I watched horror movies. I know some people really like horror movies. I am already like, I don't want to feel anxious. I already have like mass anxiety just by existing, my man. I don't need more. I don't need to like feel like, oh my God, when I'm walking down the street, you know what I really need in my life? I need to feel like that random shadow is a demon coming to rip my throat out. Yeah. You know, I already exist in that enough. I don't need more. Okay. You and your fucking bullshit privilege ass brain being like, you know what? Talking to people and being in a mall is like not the most draining thing ever. You know, going to a family gathering and just, you know, being around people that love you and you love them, but you still get hyper taxed by it because introvert whatever things is not normal for people. So you basically oh God, please. So you mean basically what the Gurren Lagann real ending? Yeah. No, I think I've seen the like adjustments to the endings, or like, what do you call it? There's like a whole TV series or YouTube series called How It Should Have Ended on YouTube, which is sometimes misses the mark. It's like, as much as like you want a good ending, you want it to be like an earned good ending, I guess. You know, you don't just want it to be good. You want it to be like, actually, you know, this was the triple threat. You know. This had meaning, yet also had lovely impact. Bodhi says Parasite ending was my favorite. Life goes on, kind of. Yeah. I would argue Parasite had a really good ending actually, with the outside of like the mom thing, but that was just like. Yeah, I don't know how Parasite can not have that type of thing, you know? Yeah. But yeah, I would consider Parasite to have a really good ending. Outside of, again, the only loss being the mom, which, I don't know, a lot of people talked about that being like one of the most saddening, horrible things in all of animation and stuff like that, which I don't know if I agree, because I don't know, I don't think they really sold the mom as being like this like, maybe that's for the best, honestly. It's probably like a kindness from the developer. Yeah, because to me, I'm like, I don't know. It feels like a lot of times within shows, it bothers me is like this feeling of like, oh, I'm gonna die. It's fine. You can go ahead. You take first. I just want to get out of here. But yeah, I don't know. It oftentimes feels weird. Like here's a character, like that's exactly what Bridge to Terabithia felt, which was like, here's this genuinely wonderful human being. Here's how fantastic they are. Here's how wholesome and sweet and inspiring they are, and like, yeah, and you know how hard the main character's life is and how brutal it can kind of be, and then you have this contrast of this person who's just love, and then they're like, yeah, fuck you, by the way. Oh, you loved her, did you? God, and they just fucking kick you in the stomach, and you just cough up blood like in an anime. You're like, how did that happen? How does that make sense? It doesn't, but it hurt that bad that it felt like it made sense. And go. Parasite, but the anime is itself can create anxiety. Yeah, well, the anime just had a really it had like a horror art style where everything just felt kind of like sharp and scratchy. He does his SO does quick endings to stories nowadays because these filmmakers extend their stories when you didn't need to. Yeah, I can see that. I was watching a person break down like a lot of what is Hollywood films, and it's really shitty that like the way films are created in a lot of ways seems like, how do I put it? They're not indicative of like, usually like it's an executive being like, well, I think we should have a story about this, and they have no idea like what story structure is even. So they're like these investors will like pitch them an idea, and then they try to like make the story happen. And like the investors are just like, yeah, but why not? Why not just make I think, what do you call it? The premise I heard was like, this investor's like, I think it'd be such a fun film if my daughter came out with it. It was basically like, what happens if for all oh god damn it, what happens if all the kids in the world became adults like one night, and then the main guy was just like, okay, yeah, we could have fun with that. And he's like, well, you could do like a Freaky Friday type of situation with like a family. All of the kids become adults, and then they have to kind of like survive, and they kind of go about that. And the investor was like, no, I don't know. We want to do it like the whole world. And he was kind of just like, okay, well then, and then he basically was trying to explain to him like what would actually happen, which is like, like everything would fall apart. It'd be an apocalyptic movie basically. If all the kids were now adults, all the adults were gone, or all the adults were now kids or something like that, and like incapable, or babies, I think that's what it was. They'd be incapable of doing things. So like it'd just be like all of the production of food would cease. All of the airplanes would cease as well. Like all the knowledge base of all these things would just crumble. And the guy was like, the investor was like, movies, like, that would just make it like fun and goofy and like have laughs. And the guy was kind of trying to describe, or the writer who was being told to write this was kind of like it just doesn't make any sense, and also there's like no angle to it that's fun. With that being said, though, I think the movie did end up being created. It's called Boss Baby, essentially. I think it was also called Boss Baby 2 or something like that. Which, at least in that instance, the guy knew like the only way this makes sense if it's in like a goofy cartoon bullshit world. But the guy was trying to articulate the fact that like people who have money and are in the industry of filmmaking aren't the same people that know narrative structure. They're just trying to get you to do their idea. And then the idea fails, and they're like, well, you're a shitty writer. And it's like, sure. Or it's the fact that you wanted me to write this story that just made no sense from the cuff, you know? So yeah. It used to be happy endings, but that's not an issue with movies or series nowadays. Yeah. Red says, hey, you should do the Hogwarts sorting on... We did! We could do it again. We did, and I knew this. I knew this from the minute that I knew what factions were what. I knew I was a Hufflepuff. Proud as fuck Hufflepuff over here, boys. Proud as fuck. Okay? Again, and the reason why I was... I think we did it... Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think we did it either on stream or I watched a video of somebody do it long ago. And it's hilarious because everybody wants to be Gryffindor. Like, that was always the thing within, like, the Harry Potter mythos. Like, everyone wants to be Gryffindor because it's what you see all the time. But then if you look at this quiz for Gryffindor in Hogwarts, it's just like you're a bunch of sociopathic, fucking suicidal idiots who are just like, oh, like, one of the questions I remember, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? which is like, if you heard a scream or some sort of ominous, clearly a not good bullshit thing, come from like the forest that's like bad in Harry Potter, what do? Do you not go in the fucking forest to your imminent death, or do you say, fuck it, I'm gonna go in the forest for no reason, just, I guess I'll die, and then you just go. The only time I almost got Gryffindor is because those fuckers, there was a question where they basically say, like, if there was a troll on a bridge and your friend was about to be attacked, what do you do? And I was like, well, I'm not gonna let my friend die. In that instance, I try to fucking do whatever I could to help my friend get the hell out of the situation. And I guess they're like, that's courage. And I'm like, no, that's me having to protect my friend who's an idiot who got himself into this situation. It's not me seeking out pain and suffering like a psychopath, okay? And a lot of, like, what is Hufflepuff shit is just like, hey, man, you just want to, like, do what you want to do and, like, forget about what everyone else is doing and just kind of be self-filled and self-emulated through that. Yeah, cool. Hufflepuff is it's funny because even the lore of Hufflepuff, I was watching a person, like, make a bunch of videos as a preamble to Hogwarts Legacy, talking about all the houses. And apparently, Slytherin's founder is a racist, like, just a hardcore racist, apparently. Woof. And the Hufflepuff founder, from that thing was she was basically the sloppy seconds of everybody who didn't get picked, which is sad. But I was also like, okay, that makes sense. But Hufflepuff is like the misfit arena where, like, only, like, after Slytherin took theirs, after not Ravenclaw, what is it fucking called? That's Ravenclaw. Yeah, smart people took theirs. Gryffindor took theirs. There was, like, this sweet herbologist lady who was like a fucking giant redheaded girl who's, like, jacked, I think, like, kind of like a gardener lady, like a Viking gardener. Think of that. And she would take all the, like, leftover students who didn't get picked, and that kind of became the one thing. And I was like, I love it. Misfit bullshittery. Let's go, Hufflepuff. But yes. I did it once. Yes, I did. We could do it again before. I think we'll do it probably in Hogwarts Legacy. I would be surprised. I think there's going to give you an option like, do you want to link your account? And I'm like, no. But I think they're going to probably get you to do it in the thing of it. Also, I think there's probably going to be that for, like, wands and shit. Bodhi says, day 12, asking Grin to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. One of these days, we'll have some time. Because, yeah, it's the only metric right now that's kind of, like, kicking our ass. Lone says, quick question. Are we going to stream 1 p.m. Yes, we are streaming 1 p.m. Tuesday. Oh, God. It could be a real shit show, boys, but it is going to be, like, the first hour. I don't know how we're going to handle it. I think how we're going to handle it in terms of the progression of that game. Oh, God damn it. Stop it. I hope you get fucking destroyed. No. Okay. But yeah, I like basically how we played God of War is we basically beat the entire game. We, like, made a point to get all the things done, signed, sealed, delivered, that kind of stuff. But I don't know if we'll do that for Forspoken. I think we'll do, like, the story mainly on stream, and that'll be the thing that propels us further. But I think I will grind it off camera because I do think it's going to be a game that's, like, I would find it hard to believe that Forspoken's not a very good battle simulator, where, like, if the story falls flat, if it's laggy as hell and you can't really enjoy the visuals because it's so taxing on your system, I do think it's just going to be a fun combat sim where you're just, like, casting 5 spells at once and chain detonating shit, and that could be satisfying. But yes. What was I saying? But I want to get good at the combat, and, like, it's always sucks because, like, if you do a Let's Play and the first episode is usually dog shit because you have no idea how to play. So for me, I kind of wanted it to be like, okay, I need to leave space for me to, what do you call it? Goblin? Where's that son of a bitch? Let's work together here. Where is he? Right here. No, Goblin's up top. Where's the other one? Oh, no. Okay, Goblin, stay. You can have number 1. I'll die. Okay, good. We did it. Nice. Naruto. But yeah. But yeah, so we are going to be streaming at 1 p.m. on Tuesday. We're going to be playing it Forspoken. I think we'll probably focus on the story, and then I'll mess around in my time, try to get better at the combat, try to grind some stuff out. Probably look at if there's any glitches to get experience and shit, just so we can really get to like the meat and the potatoes of the combat fast. Because I do feel like that's a game where it's like you have to. I feel like it's going to be very Infamous-y. Like Infamous, where like you're running around grabbing shards for 80% of the game, which is satisfying, yet a little much. A little much. Nub says, I got Slytherin and I'm happy. Yeah. A lot of people, well, for what it's worth, Slytherin's like house looks clean as hell. Looks like nice. The underwater aspect is gorgeous. Yeah. Hufflepuff. Yeah, you Hufflepuff do rip. Bodhi says, hydrate, thank you. We'll hydrate with energy drink. Not the best play, but yeah. Lone says, dang, Grim. Day one and trying to glitch to break the game. I'll be honest, man. I usually do that. Especially with games like Fallout. Any RPG, if it's like, it's basically, it was the thing that we did before isekais were popular, which is like, how can I have an extraordinarily unfair advantage in the world? Okay? And you like, basically, you always Google day one money glitch or some shit, because like, at least in Fallout, to me, that's what got me onto that whole thing, is because I fucking hate the mini game of like picking up gear and shit. It's just awful. Hate it. Stop it! God damn you, son of a bitch! M something. Was that the first to die here? God damn. Oh, also, I can't get any more. Shit. Yeah, this is just a bonus game, I guess. Red says, technically, the first time I was a Slytherin, but that made obviously no fucking sense to me, so I redid it. Well, yeah. Well, to me, I also think that it's very, how do I put it? You can tell which question is which. What question this is leaning you towards. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, I think that's the issue, is that I think a lot of people will, like, retake the test a bunch until they get Gryffindor, or, like, be like, again, if you answer honestly about, like, what do you want? And like, or like, are you compelled to go into a dangerous situation? Like I talked about this recently, but I haven't uploaded the anime breakdown video of it. But the premise was basically that there's a reason why most isekai or most harem shows have like a very bland character that doesn't have too many like defining characteristics. Basically, a lot of the characteristics that they do have are things that mass populace, i.e. men usually, have the aspiration to want to have, i.e. courage, i.e. bravery, all of these things. So people like passively have these attributes that they try to strive for, that they like the idea of. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what they would do, you know? So yeah, but to me, I think that's the issue with when you're taking those tests, that people will be like, well, I really like the idea that I'm like to be courageous and to like put myself in danger on the behalf of other people. But if you're like, have you ever done that in your real life? Do you truly feel that way? Because a lot of times I'm like, fuck that. Fuck that. You kidding me? Unless I have to. My feeling of that is like, do I like the person? Do I know the person I'm saving is a good person? Do I know that they would even consider saving me? I don't mean to be this dickhead, but I'm not the person that's like, I'll die for just anybody. What if you're saving a monster? You know what I mean? I don't know. People don't think things through. But yeah, that's to me one of the things I find a lot of people when they take those tests is they have the hope of what they want without actually considering thinking through what they're really doing or asking, I guess, in the situation. But yes, let's see, boys, how much do we make? I think we can let's buy all of this. Oh, we have 8,000. Buy all of this. All of this. Have I still not spent 6,000? There we go. Now we have access to everything. It's nice. Give me all of that. Give me all of Mori. That. In order to get the next sum, we need to spend 12k. Golly. Let's definitely buy that. That's amazing. 20 per buy. That's crazy. Buy that. I think we need to buy all this, actually. That's the whole premise. That's all of it. Okay, so we need to spend 12k until we get to the next big pooba. Oh, also, by the by, ladies and gentlemen, I logged in last night and they gave me the what is it? Is it this? Oh shit! Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Obtain. Bang. 10 little cards. Okay. So this is Ruby's slot machine thing. Ruby's back, by the way. Very cool. Kind of tempted to get more rubies, but I think I'll hold off for just a wee bit. Cool. Well, the main thing we're after is the wishes. Everything else here is meaningless. I think all this is just name card bullshit. So let's draw. One draw. Oh shit. Wait a minute. Okay. It's not good. It's better than nothing, but I'd actually rather these actually at this point. But anyways, boom. Again. Oh my god, another. It's the same thing. Weirdly, same. Oh, it's slightly different. Okay, well, at least it's not blues, which is what we got last time. Okay, yep. Okay, it's the worst possible game. Let's see. Blue again. All right. Wait, so they're still doing this weird shit? I thought they changed it because of like the other skin thing. Yeah, no, Tower Fantasy's monetization's getting a little fucky. It's just something that people have agreed continually that's horrible. They're like, fuck it. You'd suffer. What's good? Oh my god, it's been a hot minute, Richie. It's been a hot minute. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing good. I really, what's that? I really want to watch the movie again. Which movie? Now it says when he's 80 and Twitch doesn't exist. What? What do you mean? Red says Forspoken is too open. I think that for stream content, GEW was very linear. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, yeah. What do you mean? I think Forspoken will be really good for stream, like especially because a lot of it is like you ping around, grabbing shit, and basically just be like a good template background thing for us to hang out and do. Also, I think the story is very because you're in a world that's so disconnected from all logic and reason. I think you can watch it at any possible moment and be like, okay, like you're still like in an absolutely batshit world where you have no idea what's going on. And you're right at home with all of us going on in the story, you know? So I think it'd be a good game to watch personally. Also, I think the magic would be satisfying to see like them rip in succession, I guess. Red says, if you want to exploit the game, that is what cheat engines are for. Yeah, no, I don't really like that though. That gets too, I don't know, too easy for me. And I guess I get the thing that pisses me off in a lot of those games is, for instance, in a Bethesda game, I would love if they just gave us the ability to monopolize wealth in a funner way. Like make gaining caps or like money in Skyrim or any of these games have a background build-up effect. So like if I could go in Fallout, there's a mod for Fallout 4, the newest Fallout. Not 76, but the actual sequel to the franchise. It's called Sim Settlements, where you basically plop down like a bunch of stores, and over the course of time, they'll upgrade themselves because like they're basically harvesting the land, etc. And you can come back to these settlements, and you'll have your lump sum of caps. You can also, I think, connect them so that your caps basically get funneled down one route. But to me, that's awesome. I would totally mess around with that mini game rather than the fucking endless mini game of constantly looking at weapons to sell. And like trying to ration out what I need, what's worth this much money and that much weight. It's too much. But again, a lot of games don't have that. Therefore, I just say, okay, well, fuck it. I just want to get out of this system. But yeah, and also it'd be cool if you could get to access the abilities that make your build click, because the beginning parts of RPGs suck, and most games know that, which is why like some of the best RPGs. One of my favorites is Outer Worlds that recently did this, where very quickly your build syncs up. Where if you're like a companion build, if you just get like 2 perks that affect cooldown and you scale up the damage a little bit, you're just wrecking. If you get one that scales up sneak, you're wrecking. Like it doesn't take a long time to get the 2 skills that really unlock what you're trying to do. And then you have more in the future that give you even more excessive gain. But yeah. Safety mode for lame term. 1 second. Let me catch up on chat. Actually, got away from me a little bit. The test is flawed, honestly. Not all questions show up. So the one that did show up, the first were things I responded honestly to, but were skewed as fuck. The second had much more relevantly questions to my personality. Yeah. Well, I get that to me is why I think the like Hufflepuff thing is just nice, is because like it's this. The whole premise seems like it is this like. You're a misfit person, I guess. Like, you don't fit into any of the other ones. You're not necessarily ambitious. You're not necessarily this or that. You're just kind of like, I'm just kind of hanging out. I don't have, like, these crazy, ambitious, crazy, nonsense things. But simultaneously, you like your things you like. But, yeah. Richie says, oh, a friend of mine who was streaming laughed when I told them I learned my lesson with Twitch Shield mode. What's that? What do you mean? Wait, which Twitch Shield mode? Is it the new feature? Safety mode for lame. What's that? What does that mean? I've never heard about that. Twitch Shield mode. Is that like to block the ads from spamming you if you have to refresh? Red says, I tried to get into Outer Worlds, but the story and dialogue ended up pissing me off like halfway through. So I thought, really? I think Outer Worlds is one of the best examples of companions in the game. Not necessarily like the companions are intricate, although they're pretty cute and fun. It's just like the systems of like, there's like the I'm the leader of the ship captain build that you can do basically that makes your cooldowns 1-to-1, and when you activate a cooldown, it has a chance of completely resetting your cooldown. You can get that pretty early on. To where you can just like chain activate your companion's abilities to where you're just seeing them smash and bash everything apart. And it's scalable, which is amazing. So it's not just like, I mean, this could be a little bit overpowered, so, you know, we want them to use guns, so let's nuke that so that they have to use guns. But then it's just like, why the fuck would I invest in this companions if they're suck ass? So I'll just invest all of it in the guns and nuke people that way. Stupid. Dumb. But yeah, also, we have too many red usernames in the chat. Okay, goddamn. Is it all red? Lone's like the only blue tinted one. Let me do this. I don't know what else we have to do, by the way. We can do our, like, the quick... Unless you guys got more garden material to get. I'm maxed out. I'm 12 of 12. If you guys got more, let me know, and we'll do that. We've also reached the cap here. Yes. This is nothing. We have, like, some tiny joint operation things, I believe. We have one Fortress Clash and one Void Rift. I think Fortress Clash would be worth doing. Void Rift, I don't think so. There we go. Nub is green. Actually, that really looks nice. It looks really nice. It's funny though, because Nub is, I've known Nub the longest in terms of, yeah, I've known Nub since the Fortnite days. Woo, save the world Fortnite days. Golly. And he was always red. He's always red pigment. So to have him change feels weird. Feels very strange. It's the one that wiped out the chat. That's one time, Grin. Oh. It's the one that whipped out the chat that one time. Okay, I don't know what that means. And I never... Ooh. So I can never comment at effectiveness. I'll change it to green. Richie says, yeah, it was me. Of all things, because it was new at the time. It popped up. Misclick. Oh, I see. Okay. Huh. Whereas his companions I like. It was the corpos I fucking hated. I went in just wanting to fuck the corp. Yeah, you can do that though. You can literally walk up to the corporations and blow their brains off, and the game will automate to that. I would suggest not doing that for the first town, because one of the most wholesome companions is like the mechanic girl, and she's also great. Her like skills are nuts, but yeah, if you could literally do that. That game was, well, that's one of the cooler things about that game. You could literally walk into every city and like destroy everybody. You could go through like the renegade route where you destroy every corporation and just kill everybody. The game is one of the few instances where you have a lot of choice. There, for now, I will be green. No idea why it doesn't work on the first text. Weird. One says, it's like 3 different shades of red. I get confused for the moment too. Yeah. Okay, good. Let's say red's a little bit lighter, Richie a little bit darker. Nub was, I think, the same as Richie, maybe? Yeah. Also, Bolty is a nice pink. Solid pink. Do, 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 do. Alone says it's like 3 different. Well, my favorite color is green, anyways. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Alone says, dang, Grin, you was playing Fortnite. I was playing Fortnite Save the World, just grinding. And I met Nub, and Nub was like, hey, you have a Discord? And I'm like, no, it's too much to deal with. And I kind of was making excuses. I was like, well, I wasn't actually making excuses. I was really overwhelmed with trying to make content daily, which I hadn't like not done for years. And I couldn't really have extra time to do all this other stuff. And also I just wanted to make better videos because I was still kind of like a cringy little bastard. It wasn't very good at it. And then Nub was like, well, it's not that hard to like set up basically. I could do it for you. And I was like, I feel like that's too much. And Nub was like, and then the next day I know we had a Discord, and Nub is like literally the sole reason why we have a community, really. Because I feel like people it helps to have a place to consolidate and to hang out and to have all these conversations and hobbies around. It's weirdly, but yeah. Red says, or no, Nub says, Red tends to just be more poppin', so I use that for some reason. That makes sense, yeah. Petition to return Nub color 1x. What's good, Cody? Cody says, I watched since then. Oh, really? I watched since then. Also, the reason I bought Save the... Really, Cody? That makes you like... Yeah, that's like OG of OG a little bit. God damn. I can't even believe that, Cody. You must be a lurker. Because we don't talk enough for you to be putting up with me for that long. I installed Fortnite only twice. Both times was simply to enter the NVIDIA GPU giveaway. And I probably uninstalled and forgot it existed again. I really liked Save the World. It had potential, but just... Yeah, honestly, again, at the time I was, and even now I'm still happy that, you know, what do you call it? It's that. Also, do we want to do the one thing? I guess I'll start it and you guys can just back out if you don't want to. Because I don't know how much you guys got done, but we could try Save the World. Or not Save the World, we could try Fortress Clash. Can we do ×3? I can only do one attempt. I don't know how many attempts you guys have. Should I give power to Max or Lone if you guys have more than one attempt? You guys can start it. Richie says, Nub, check Twitch Prime PM. Cody, get fucking by What do you mean? Oh, McCrazy. Oh, god damn it, McCrazy, you son of a bitch. What the fuck is this? You guys gotta stop. You guys can't do that shit, man. God damn it. Fuck Cody. You son of a bitch. You guys have no idea. Because in my head, I'm like, where did McCrazy go for such a long time? I don't know what happened. We have Angelic Beatdown. We have a bunch of these people that you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I do. And y'all change your usernames without telling me. And I'm kind of like, what? But McCrazy? Fuck. God damn it, Cody. You son of a bitch. You were there the whole time. Well, I missed you, McCrazy. I'm happy you're back. Apparently, yeah, you were here the whole time. Nub says, cause Save the World was a scam. Really? I didn't think it was a scam. It was too bad. Brody says, okay, finish All of Us Are Dead Now is good and the ending is acceptable. What? Okay, finished All of Us Are Dead Now. That's the show, I assume. Pause. It's a good ending. It's acceptable. Okay. Okay, got it. Apostrophes can really, or like dashes can really help. But yeah. I'm going to start this. I don't know if anyone's going to play it or if everyone left the party already. Let's see. Maybe Max can flex on us for how goddamn powerful he is. Oh, but I don't know what you mean by scam. I'm sure there's some reason for this. But yeah. Also, what? I just noticed that. What is this right here? This person's name, that's a whole last thing. That's breaking my my border a little bit. Intercity H set Cindy Train Adventures. Fucking golly. Oh, thank you. I think that's about who follows. Shit. That's one hell of a username. Hit accept loan. I know you're probably paying death first. Ooh, nice purple. Okay. Now I will say, I hope you guys stay with the color that you choose. Okay, because it helps my brain rationalize who it is at a quick glance. Cody says, sorry, man, but yes, I always drop in and out of streams. I'm much like, yeah, but McCrazy, what call? I remember you vividly, so that's why, like, I'm like, God damn it, like Richie. I think for a while there was Ashley, and now like my brain has to do like 5 different fucking approaches just to kind of map out people. I'm like, God damn it, fucking shit. The only way I know that parallel is because of the ass. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, there's only one person who spams that, and I know them. And yeah. My online ID is this, so I will never change. Says no. That's nice. Again, I do appreciate the consistency because it just makes my brain. It's fine. Again, case in point, Max, I know is Raidenade, who's also Goblin, and I also. But there's times when I'm like, wait, wait, what? Like even though I do my best, there's times my brain starts to say, I don't know. It's a what? I don't know who. What? Yeah. Also, it used to be a pain in the ass to change your username. Now it's pretty goddamn easy. So like, just keep it uniform, you know what I mean? Also, Max is bodying people. Where is, oh, is it here? It is here. This. Damn. I was in the middle of a Dead Cell run. Sorry. I apologize. You guys weren't talking to me, so I was just said, fuck it. I'll run it and see. You guys see any of this? Hey, Greg, can you give me a minute? I'm just trying to wrap up this level. I'm like, got it. We can hang out and talk. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just, like, you're literally watching nothing. You know what I mean? So, like, I better do something. But it's all good. Lone says, no typing in chat. What does that mean? No typing into what? What does that mean? Now everyone is changing from red and no one is red. Well, red is red, which I think is appropriate. Okay. Yeah. Oh, did that hit? I hope it did. Yeah, it did. Now, granted, McCrazy, I also like the name Cody. Like, it's not that I dislike y'all's names. It's just the fact that, like, your brain, it takes a mental real estate every time I have to go to my way. Like, I know this person. I got to keep up with this, like, this thought thread. That way I'm a good friend, and when I ask you what's going on in your life, you're not like, oh, he doesn't remember me. It's like, no, motherfucker, I actually make an effort, but sometimes there's so many people that it gets a little jumbled up in here. I'll do my best. Richie said, just gonna pop up with some cake. Yeah, also that one has a tail? What is going on with that? Another says, my online ID. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, we're okay. We're somehow okay. This. Some of this. A little bit of this. Oof. And then this. Okay. I'm red because obviously. Yeah, another says, yeah, a lot of sites are switching to handles, nicknames instead of those user. Yeah. I will say though, as much as it is fucking a pain in the ass when people keep people have a different nickname ever. Like a person made there's a person that like makes in its best way. They have that on YouTube, I think, where like a person was like, when you're playing God of War, will come in and be like, hey, I'm Kratos. I'm the weapon of Kratos. I'm the son of Sparta, and like just kept coming in and like immediately changing his name. And I'm like, I can't believe the Google servers are managing all that quick demand and change. But they were getting after it. Also, ow, ah. Oh, I'm the only one alive. This is bad. If I don't know. I think when you die though, I think it just resets the health pool anyway. I am about to die. I don't think it kept it in the right sequence, but maybe. I think for you guys it looks like they're like it resets it, but for me it doesn't. I don't know. This. Oh, this. Oh, I'm full health. Look at me. Oh, look at you guys, honestly, for helping me out. Do. Cody says, the only reason I changed mine is because I lost my other Twitch and email to it, so I had to make a new. Oh, I see. I will say that's something I hear a lot where people say they lose their email. Yeah, I should write shit down. I was like, yeah. And again, it's not that it's not like but also I think you could be a bastard. I think if you were really persistent about it, it could be changed. Although, man, there's a lot of shit where like there's scammers that were going around and like nixing people's accounts that were like had millions of subscribers. And you're like, Jesus Christ, that's terrifying. Like that, not even them, they're safe. Also, Max with a 62,000 damage. God damn. Now, with that being said, though, it was. Let me see. I'm gonna change my name one day just to confuse. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. This is the other thing that's kind of like if I were to genuinely be convincing, I think, to like get people to not change their name, it's again, I have created so many memories with you guys for this person that to me matter. Like I cherish them. I think I wouldn't trade them for like damn near nothing. I enjoy the time we spend together. So to me, when people change their name, it may just seem like a goofy thing for me, but I basically lose that person. Which is why, like, even though, what do you call it? I know sometimes things can change. Sometimes people can, like, be going through some things so that they want to experience what it's like to be, I don't know. Like, I know a lot of people who have going through some identity things where they want to see what it's like being the world perceiving them as a different person or a different gender. I've experienced that recently. And that's fine, but it makes me sad because I lose the person who like, yeah, like, and it's probably not a healthy thing, but I put too much stock into that where like it basically sucks when you're hanging out for someone like for years basically, and you don't hear from them for like many months, and you're kind of like, well, shit, it feels like a friend just said peace. You didn't mean as much as it meant to me as for you, you know? So, to me, it matters, I guess. So maybe even a little too much. But, so when people change their name, it also, like, you almost, like, it's like not talking to a friend for that long. It almost feels like, well, did you not have as much as fun as I did? Did I get attached in a weird way? Fuck. Shit, man. So, yeah, it just feels bad. It feels really bad when, like, a person, like you built up a memory pool with that are positive memories and you can't no longer, those go away, basically. Because the name and the person that you hanged out with is basically gone. And yes, it's nice to have like a fresh start or whatever if you maybe said something that's less great, but that's what kind of makes friendship important, or even just when somebody's actually able to accept the parts of you that are flawed. You know what I mean? Like with the fact that you said something silly. Like there's been times when me and Fluff have gotten into a little bit of a disagreement, or a disagreement with like Nub, etc., or something like that, or we just don't agree with each other on the perception of what this is or what that is, and etc. And the fact that I still was able to, like, we're still able to be kind to one another and create memories together, etc., and have fun and create a place together. To me, it's like I accept people for what they are actually. Or even if a very good version of them, but there were moments when I could have been like, this person's horrible or toxic, but yeah, I think that if you can stick it out and you can acknowledge that people are complex and that things aren't perfect, then that creates a genuine friendship or something like that, or a genuine acknowledgement for, I actually like who you are, or a giant part of that is what that is. And if people change their name, then they basically are constantly resetting that dial, and that feels shitty. So yeah, I appreciate when people keep their name, that way I can keep the memory bank of all the fun times you've had, and it builds up over time. Like I greatly value Lone, I greatly value Nub, I greatly value Fluff, I greatly value Red, I greatly value Bolty, McCrazy or Cody, now that I know. Beastie's one of them. There's so many people. Seku, Casper. Again, I genuinely remember you guys, and I don't try to dwell on it too much because it can kind of be sad when you don't see somebody for a long time. But also, it's not your guys' obligation to fucking hang out with me, etc. So, it's, but again, it's just nice when you're like, oh, this person I've known for years. You know what I mean? And I have a memory pool of all the fantastic things we've experienced together. That's really nice. Richie says, oh, and Stadia has finally shut down. That happened a good bit ago, Richie. That was inevitable, yeah. Do 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 do. Red says Google sucks at carrying anything except searches and maps. Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, I think to me, I wish they would have developed. I wish they would have turned Stadia, pivoted the company into like well, basically what. Again, we talked about it beforehand, but it was basically back when was it XCOM or no? It was one of the Xbox games which basically like rendered an open world city and had destructible environments, but they used it by pinging to servers and like rendering the world through those servers, and then having your console kind of send signals to those servers like, oh, I blew up this building, and then it all collapses. I wish they would have turned it into that, because that to me could have been the future of like if you plugged into an internet connection, you would get like better and better quality for your environmental stuff. Like your system would still have to load in the world, like the fact that the physics on the ground keep you from falling through the world, etc. But the detail of the environment could have been done through a server and just updated through your internet connection. Also, they could scale the demand of what they're processing through your internet connection. So if you have better internet, you have these spikes of amazing beauty, and then if you have bad internet, it just does a little bit. So I wish they would have pivoted into that, but they never did. Richie says, it's just think you got me into Let It Die, and I blame you, and started watching you on Twitch, and now I'm mad. Red says, check the bottom tab of the shop in Tower Fantasy. Oh, right. Oh, is there another shop in... the bottom tab? This or like what? What is it? This one? What you mean, Red? Although I will say I haven't done that this week. Thank you for reminding me. Currencies. I haven't bought this yet. Absolute terrible. Absolutely terrible. Also, I think yeah. Also, there's this currency. Oh, this is new. Huh. What does that do? What is this? How do you get this? Play. Abyss. Okay. Get a crown. Cool. Bunny ears. Okay. Well, actually, fire crown would be kind of cool if you could wear it on your character. And a bunch of weird tunnel stage. Is this tattoos or something? I don't know. I want to know. I don't know what that is. Cody says, I enjoy Let It Die content. I also, it helped me get through the tough challenge. Yeah. Alone says, you can tell out of the four of us who play these games casually and who doesn't look at the damage. Raynade says, happy to be there. Thank you, Raynade, by the way, for carrying us a little bit. Richie says, I wonder where Miss Saki... Well, Saki is... or sake, or oddity. I think that's how you say it. Oddity, or yeah. Regardless, she's also pursuing like a medical career, so it's pretty intensive. Also, I do again. One thing is, it's fair. It's also fair that people will get sick of you. You know what I mean? Like eventually, people are like, been there, done that, and at that point, I do massively suggest you guys go find other people, because I would hate for something that like a nice environment where you feel at peace and you feel like you can hang out and talk about the things you're interested in turns into like an obligation. I don't ever want that for people, because that obligation will turn into frustration, and frustration will turn into resentment, and I don't want that. So don't do that. But yeah, Alone says you can tell that. Radiant said happy to be here. Thanks. Raynard Enough says, no, the announcement was a while ago that shut down recent. Yeah. Oh, I see. So now they're fully gone. Dang. There was a bunch of, you could basically get refunded your games and stuff. I imagine that was a nightmare to go through, though. Owen says, all right, that's it for me. Gonna go draw. Got it. I think I'm gonna probably, the only thing we have left to do, I think, is story. So I might just do some story. Red says, you were at it. Go back to the shop. Look for the pack for 1 gold. What? It's in the shop? It's at the very bottom? You said for 1 gold? Is it this thing or the other thing? You said I was at it. So is that not this shop though? Like the currency store, not the shop, right? This is what it says shop. So I would figure this is what it was. Scroll up. 25% off. Oh, this. Oh, this. Okay. What? How? Oh, and you could buy this multiple times? It looked like, yeah, 2 of 4. Those sons of bitches. I could have probably been buying that the whole damn time. God damn it. It's 1 per day. Forever or for like just now? Because it's about to go away in 1 hour. So I don't know if that's true. I might have lost it. Damn it. 1 nucleus, you can buy twice for 60. I don't think that's... Is that a good deal? Maybe. 60? With, how much is a nucleus in general? I don't know. Where she says top, middle, grand, that one. Yeah. Is there there's more or just that one? I think that's just it. Got it. Look for the pack of gold. Richie says everything was refundable. Grin was steady. Okay, good. Yeah. Again, I would think it'd be so cool if they utilized that technology, because it always just feels like a fucking shame when there's. It's like not like the hardware is terrible. It's just that there's. Yeah. Well, also that's one of the things I found out is that how absolutely railed Alberta gets when it comes to cell phone data charges. Apparently. It's per day for 4 days. Okay, so is it... So every day will just be reset, I guess? Okay. Okay, let's fiddle around and try to... Sorry. It's a lot. Let's try to complete the story of this area. Maybe we get to the new area, which was out forever ago. Rainier says, I am now orange. Nucleuses are 25. Trust me, I know. Yeah, we know. Do you think that's a good deal? The 60 of the one currency? I don't think it's that much better. I think it's like 60 versus 150. Also, but that currency is also used to buy like skins and stuff. Well, I'm not even sure if they do that anymore. I think it's pretty brutal. Yeah, there's like not a lot of skins and stuff. Wow. Red said, damn, Grin, you have a shit ton of chests and box stickers. You gotta use those. I got so much stuff, man. I've been playing this game half-baked for a hot minute. Okay, I have not been, like, settled in a bang for a while. And I don't know, I will say the one thing that Tower Fantasy does, again, I keep saying it, but one of the things I think the Genshin does pretty well is the pursuit of power feels attainable. Again, if you get a couple artifacts, like if you dedicate a month, let's say a month to grinding a dungeon, the odds are you're getting at least one artifact that is pretty good. Yeah, I don't know, man. To me in Tower Fantasy, you could grind forever and still get nothing. Yeah, it feels very, like the pursuit of power is very unsatisfying. It feels very slow. Like so much RNG on top of RNG to where I was, yeah. And it's funny because like everyone was commending it for that for a while. Like, oh my god, you're so good. I'm like, I was one of those people that I commended the reward system of the game, which I think that is true. But sure as shit, it's just feels like it's missing. Is that right? Yeah, it feels like it's a pain in the ass to get strength. Like even my matrices that have gotten, I don't think are very good. Oh, that was the one thing we could have done. Dang it. I kind of threw in the towel too soon. We'd have to burn some resin. We could have done the joint operations. Hopefully we get carried. Red says, perhaps yes, but at least in Tower Fantasy has the purpose for the power. Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's the best sell when the purpose of power seems to be so slow that it almost seems like each game has an issue. One of the issues is the one that it doesn't exist. The other one is that it seems like it's 2 years out. From when you actually feel manageable. Now, granted, that's based on like the normal player experience. If you're like Red, who I think kind of shortcutted this a little bit by basically saving for such a long time and then going all into one character, right now has a fucking giga good character because it's scaling off of max constellations. And yeah, I think if you also the rate in which we're getting like reruns is actually pretty good. Like right now, there's a Ruby rerun, which to me I'm very tempted to actually go for Ruby because yeah, I already have Ruby. She's great. I know she's good. But we're also sitting on pity, and I kind of want to wait until there's a character to get her, but actually at this point, it's probably smarter for me just to go into Ruby. But we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Because I'm a hoarder. And I don't want to, yeah. Where are we going? That way? Okay, so we did not go the right way. Also, this is the worst map interface I've ever experienced ever, and it's just dog shit. Absolutely horrible. You don't know where the fuck you're going. It's a mess. Yeah. Also, why can we look around? It's just weird. Cody says, "What game are you looking forward this year, man?" Oh, I'm looking forward, Max or McCrazy or Cody, to this week. Honestly, this week and next week, or the next week. Basically, we're getting RPG on RPG. We're getting Forspoken. That's clean. We're getting Hogwarts Legacy soon after that. But honestly, for me, man, I'm Cody. I'm not sure if you kept up to date with this, but with me going down the rabbit hole in this way. But I'm mad excited for the 2 VR games coming out this year. One of them is like a cool Half-Life Gary's Mod type of feel, which to me, if we have that and Bone Lab kind of paves the way in a lot of ways to kind of for the modding community and such, that's gonna be sick. And yeah. I feel like one of you guys will tell me one of the games that's coming out that I'm like, holy shit, let's go, but I can't think of anything right now. Nothing's coming to mind. Richie says, Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the... Is that coming out this year? Wow, I haven't heard a lot about it. I guess that makes sense. Huh. Sweet. Are we going to the right mission, or is it... No, it's this one. Okay, good. Nub says, I've heard that Hogwarts... is the best Harry Potter game in the series ever get, apparently. Really? I don't know about that. I feel like that's the, what is it called? The, nostalgia bastards talking shit, I guess. Also, like, the original Harry Potter games on, like, the PS2 and shit, that all I remember from those games is those games were, like, so difficult. Like, so difficult. It's not even, yeah, there was, the platforming in that game was horrific. Red says, I've not bothered to do much of the multiplayer content in Tower Fantasy yet, but because I'm too busy with making mods to commit. Yeah, it's true too. I'm kind of waiting until I have that feeling of like Genshin got way better when you finally felt like strong. When you started feeling like, oh, I can like just stomp on shit. Bah, you know? Nub says, oh yeah, Logan, drama is over and it was great. What's drama? What do you mean? Oh yeah, Logan, drama is over and it was, what's that? What do you mean? What's drama over? What's that mean? What that mean, Nub? Logan drama is over. And it was, what's that? What's Logan drama? What that? Richie says 12 of May. Oh, it comes out the Breath of the Wild. Okay. I still haven't played the first Breath of the Wild game. That one looked great, but man, I'm so happy I've not experienced the like reverence for Nintendo that so many other people have, like a built-in crazy nostalgia for them, which is awesome. I have that with Fable. Like, I'm pretty blind to that game. But, yeah, also, is this my own house, or is this some other shit? You get an actual house? Take the elevator back to the guest room. Is this my home? Holy shit. I know we get a house. You still a long way to go if you want to help the people against... the gray space entities. They're like, yeah, the story's just starting, my guy. Don't get too settled. Oh, Logan Paul settling the... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did see his response to CoffeeZilla, and he made a lot of good points. Where yeah, it was just like, well, again, to me, it was a very funny, like, a person who's like kind of frustrated by like, oh, this piece of shit's gunning for me. Ugh. Can't believe it. What a rude fucking, journalist. God, he's just a salacious bastard. And then you could tell, like, I think eventually it dawned on him where he's like, oh, I might be getting sued. I might be getting, like, really fucked up here. Okay, maybe we calm down. Maybe we start saying, he's a good guy. Something. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's hard to really describe, but yeah, I don't know. I don't want to really judge people, but there's a lot there that's yeah. Red says, I'm mostly excited for Hogwarts Legacy, though cautiously. Yeah, I don't know. I guess to me, it's just been a while since we've experienced like a fun RPG. So at the event, that's kind of where I feel about like a lot of people have been saying a lot of things about Forspoken. But I don't know. I think, like I said, if I take it for what it is, I think it's gonna be a fun battle sim. I think it's just gonna be like a good playground, fuck around, do stuff like that. I do think they made a lot of weird choices, like having an isekai premise without giving you the ability to pick a main character. You have to pick the main character without choice. The fact that they chose like a really, really detailed art style in a game that has like excessive movement, so you're not even able to really appreciate the art style and the detail of it. Because you're haul-assing all the time, and that's evident by the PC specs. So it's just like a lot of weird choices. But Forspoken's also been in development for a fucking long time, so hopefully it's pretty good. Hopefully. Genshin got better in 3.0 update. Seems to get better with each update. Yeah, Richie. I guess to me, the main thing that's hard to chew through with Genshin is just that it doesn't seem like it ever adds content. Like, that's something that Tower Fantasy to me is an infinitely better game just because of that. That, like, since its launch, it's had added so much base stuff to the game that you can access at every possible point. And they just added like a hard mode difficulty for people who do want to have like a place that can get like a tiny shred more of resources but have better stuff, or for that way there's some sort of reason to do the damage. But Genshin to me has stayed almost identically the same. With the exception of the card game, which people have seemed to enjoy more or less, but also have, for me as a person who is enjoying the game, I wouldn't have wanted a card game, but that could have just been me. But yeah, Cody says, oh hell yeah, man, that sounds awesome. I'm glad. I'm going to keep an eye out before I buy Forspoken, and Hogwarts Legacy is one I will definitely buy. Well, hopefully we can see you on Tuesday, Cody, on the YouTube channel, YouTube stream, because we're gonna be streaming at 1 p.m. trying to go for as long as we can. Hopefully it all works out. I'll be exercising in the morning, so hopefully I won't be like, hello guys, I'm exhausted. Hopefully. Adam says he made 0 good points. In the Logan Paul one, yeah. Again, a lot of it. The favorite part of it was like, just my favorite part in his initial response was just the disregard for like, the fact that he was the person that did all of this. Like, he was the person who put his faith in these people. He was the person that the net cause was enabling harmful individuals to disable his audience essentially from their capital. Now, granted, yes, there's an argument for like everyone is responsible for their own shit, but not when your like whole brand is about like your weird community. Anyways, I don't know. Cody says the VR games are fun to watch, although I would get dizzy and headache. Yeah, no, there's definitely a motion sickness element to it, which is why also I feel confident about making VR content as an actual like a channel basis around it, because I do feel like VR filmed well is extremely interesting to watch. I think, I hope. Whereas I do see some people who make VR content and they're like, it's super zoomed in and it just looks, it's like not making use of the feeling of being in a POV of somebody's perspective, I guess. But yeah, in any of his apologies, yeah, he takes zero things. Reggie says still getting used to the Quest 2 here, Cody. Yeah. What do you call it? The Quest 2 is it takes time. Okay, but the good news is there is a turning point where like there's no longer motion sickness and stuff like that. But it's definitely for some people it's nothing. For other people like myself, it's a lot. It's a long battle. Nup says, okay, the fact I'm green is fucking with my head. Red says, I already feel like that grin lol. My Lyra just slaps shit hard. All 3 of my characters do, and thanks to my C6 Samir, yeah, all of my character cooldowns get reduced pretty much every hit. Yeah. That's what I felt like. I felt like that thing's the thing that's disabling me from the game quite a bit. Is like I just feel like it just doesn't feel satisfying, you know. Like every time and this happened way before I started just basically doing the bare minimum in Tower Fantasy. But like I think we were like 2 months into the game, and I just still felt like nothing. At this point I had Cobalt, Ruby, and some other character that I had. And I was like, holy shit, I'm actually like, I have my team essentially. But then it dawned on me the realization of how important it is to have everything else to make up your character, basically. Yeah, how important it is to make sure you have like a lot of constellations in a thing. You have matrices. I don't know which one comes first. I think a lot of constellations gets you to do harder levels to get you to be able to get more matrices. So yeah. Granted, you can get carried, so that is something too, which always feels just shit to getting that, like having that happen. Basically, doing nothing in a game. You get like everyone has like 60 million damage, and you have 1, and you're like, okay, I shouldn't be here, and they know it, and I know it. But also, I don't have that issue when I carry people when I was higher up, so I don't know. Richie says, Grin, check your in-game mail. I know it's 48, I know, but it don't go nowhere. And it kind of makes it so that my inventory's clogged. Then I gotta delete shit, and it's a whole thing. I know. Cody says, lol, I want to buy a VR headset eventually, but I want a PC. If that's a good idea, you should definitely get a PC. Because VR, when it just internal, where you're just playing like Gorilla Tag is basically the only thing you do. Internally, don't do it. It's not, the FPS isn't good enough. It's sickening. It's not good. I would suggest you get a decent PC. You don't need the craziest PC. That's the best part. A lot of yeah. And I also think that if Meta could fucking finally take the VR headset and find a way to like synchronize it with PC output to where you basically are using like both, because right now it's you basically just use the headset as like just a lens, like a screen essentially, which is not great. But yeah, if they could somehow like work together in sequence to lessen the demand on performance, that'd be pretty cool. But if you have to do that, they've kind of hinted at doing stuff like that, but hopefully eventually comes out. That'll like make it so that you can just have an average laptop and you'd be able to play VR in a pretty good way. A decent way, I should say. Although, what game are you interested to play, Cody, as far as your VR goes, that you've seen? Red says, Lyra's skill cooldown goes from 20 seconds to 0 in 5 seconds. Golly. I'm hoping to get enough money from modding to buy the new GPU. Yeah, man. Like the new GPU, the $2,000 GPU? Or what? Because goddamn. That also be such a cool thing where like this thing that enables me to experience everything better was enabled by my passion and skill and pursuit of that. That's awesome. What's good, Roll Cake? Roll Cake's a good evening, Roll Cake. But no, that'd be awesome, man. Yeah. I have the same kind of ambition with this new channel. It's probably far off, but the idea would be to like, for the first, if I could get monetization on it and etc., to put all of it towards getting basically upgrading to a better graphics card or something like that, so that there could just be a funnel right into content, basically, because that's the only thing I kind of feel like I'm right on the red line of not being able to do VR content because it's a little taxing, but we manage. It's just not always the highest quality and a little bit frame droppy, but you know, also it makes me sick because of that, but you know. Yeah. Hey, this is not green at all. This is a yellow and white cup. Why is it transparent? I don't know what I thought there was green on there. No. Red says, personally, the first game I'd play is No Man's Sky. I knew it. I knew you'd say that. I had a strong feeling. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how, if there's going to be I don't know, man. Because to me, one of the biggest disappointments. You know what's insane? Just like a quick tangent, if you'll let me. One of the things that's absolutely astonishing, and I don't know how this person hasn't gotten like bought immediately by any company. I don't understand. There's this game called Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades for VR, and I'm subscribed to this guy's channel, who's like the dev who makes stuff for it, and it is the most complex. People call it like a gun simulation game, basically. But this person has made the most complicated gun engine thing I've ever seen. He does it all through Unreal, and it's like he takes there's like fucking hundreds. I think it's like 500 guns that are all mapped, that all have like different things where like you can pull the stock of the weapon out, you can pull different bullets, he has different calibers of bullet. Like if you're a gun nut, it's like that on crack. And I just don't know how like Meta or like Bone Lab team hasn't just bought that guy's framework, because it's all built in I think it's in the, what's it called, the goddamn thing that everyone's developing with, the same thing Red is doing. It's the Unreal Engine. But yeah, it's just crazy, and I'm like, I don't know how that guy hasn't gotten purchased yet. Because if you just took all of his gun like animations, data, and you just added like very linear hand tracking instead of like this remote kind of thing that it looks like, if you just imported that into like any game that they're making that's like an RPG, it'd be done. You wouldn't need any more guns. He even made a gun that was like an actual realistic representation of what like I don't know what it was. It was like a bullet cell. It's one of these guns that has like a battery pack on it that like heats up these coils that when you load it, it will fire this bullet really, really fast. And each time you shoot it, the battery can like get too hot, so you have to pull the battery out, put a new battery in, load the gun. But it had like multiple layers of like how it worked, and if you fucked up and shot it too much, too fast, kind of like a railgun. It was like a pistol that had like a battery pack, like a magazine pistol. It looked like that gun from Fallout New Vegas. But yeah, you plug in this battery, and if you shoot it too much, the battery will basically get too hot, and you'll have to pull out that battery. He also has something as crazy as the more you fire the gun, when it's red hot, the more it will basically distort the barrel, so that the barrel will become less accurate. So if you just fucking rampage your gun, shooting it on redlining it the whole time, the weapon will degrade and your accuracy will go out the window. It also could explode potentially. But like all of the fucking baseline base that he's creating for like these guns and how they react, if they plug that into a like an actual RPG, that'd be crazy. And yeah, to me, I'm just like, goddamn, that guy is like, I think he could sell his like foundation of what he built the game on for so much money. So much money. Nub says, I think if I get VR, the first game I'd play is Elite Dangerous. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, well again, that's like, I feel like you would need to either continually put away like a ton of money and like just live on nothing for a hot minute, or you would need to become extraordinarily wealthy very quickly. You need to like marry a fucking $1 million woman, some bullshit. Okay. And yeah, you would have to do that because it's astronomical the amount that I think you would need to do VR and to play. Well, maybe not Elite Dangerous. I'm not thinking of the right game. I always see Elite Dangerous as Star Citizen. But yeah, what do you call it? I think if you were to run Star Citizen, what I was talking about. But yeah, Elite Dangerous, you'd probably be fine. Cody says, definitely Bone Lab. Yeah, man, Bone Lab is pretty great. I can't wait till we get back in that game. It's going to take a little bit of a week off because we're playing Forspoken, but yeah, we might squeeze in one, like a double stream of like a little bit of Forspoken at the beginning and then some Bone Lab, because I definitely want to, that's my goal for this week. As much as it is to also just do CTR training, it's to mainly try to make this mod review of like the best Avatar mod I've found, and try to like do a fun edit that makes that video fun, not just like, so guys, here's the mod, it's really good. I want to try to make it snappy and fun. It's possible, I don't know. We'll see. Also, what is this? Oh, geez. It's funny though. Have you seen Bone Works? Because Bone Lab is great, but Bone Works is also pretty fucking huge. I'd say like it's a little unfortunate because Bone Lab has much better physics engine and much better like baseline stuff, but Bone Works has an extremely good area, which apparently it's hilarious because there's already a mod where people are recreating the entire game of Bone Works in Bone Lab. so people are like, oh, you'll just basically get a full game for, yeah. I'm sure Stress Level 0 is like, great, that's awesome. Ooh-wee, that's just the best for us. Okay. But I think that'll be a real test of how they handle the community. All right, can we not just light me the hell up? Get height. Don't get too far away. Now this. Activate this. Death by 1,000 cuts. Come on. Bop, bop. Yeah, I think he also has a railgun though that has a similar feature. But the point is that like this hot dogs, handguns, and grenades, whatever it's called, is like insane. It's like it's the most complex gun system I've ever seen. You know, see like games where like, oh, you can attach a suppressor or a sight on it. You literally have to pick up a sight and like attach this shit to it, and each of them have like different modifications, and it's just the most complex I've ever seen within a game system that no dev would ever do besides a psychotic modder who's just like, yeah, he's really good too. He seems like one of the few people that's like absurdly good at what he's doing. And he also has like a very passionate community, which is great. Get out of there, me. Don't hurt me yet. Give me a minute. Quickly, this before we get killed. God damn it, this boss. Granted, we're not really close to death, but still frustrating. Oh, my nose. Oh, kick me. Rude. Okay, first health bar down. Red says, if a mod exists to pause or circumnavigate the damn time calculator system in a Persona game, I'd probably enjoy that. Otherwise, fuck off. I hate being limited and confined like that. Yeah, I think I agree with you on most times. The only thing I think I agree with it is in like the monetary sense. For like if you buy a business in like Fable, you have to wait. Most people will just leave their console on over time. But yeah, it'd be cool if there was like a slight debuff, like enemies. You could basically power level to the point where like enemies would be a couple days behind your character's progression, so you can make use of that by going and fighting bosses at that time and having an advantage. But I do think in that instance that makes sense, the power advantage. That makes sense, the time mitigation part of it. I do think you should still be able to like sleep your ass off and move past that stuff, but yeah. But that was one of the things that I always hated about, it pissed me off so badly when there was the Dead Rising is what it's called. When Dead Rising 2 is speculatively coming out, I remember people were like, oh, I really hope they don't like change the time thing. And I was just like, fuck off. I hate it so much. I hated the time rush your ass off through this game type of thing. And so many people wanted it back. And of course they didn't have it in there. And it was just such a better experience, at least to me. I think they still added like a hard mode that had it if you wanted it. And of course those people were like, it's not the same. And I'm like, fuck you. God, I hate people like that. Who are like, no, they literally want another way to give you your stupid, dumb, nightmare hell of an experience. And you're like, oh, it's not good enough. I need everyone else to suffer as well in order for me to feel special. Fuck you. God damn these people. Anyways. Also, on the device. Oh, was I never supposed to fight him? Oh. Get him to step on the device? Is that what it wants me to do? Step on the device. I did. Is it this? Oh, maybe I didn't actually fight him. I just needed to gas the bastard. Okay. Hey, come here. Guys. Ah! Why is it not hippity happening? It's working. I'm just getting lit up though. Ah. Did that work? Yeah, 2 done. Good. Also, Grin, can you repeat the name again? I need to make sure I heard that right. Which one is it? What name is it? What? Oh, no. You son of a bitch. I see what you're saying. Hot dogs, handguns, and grenades? Oh, no, horseshoes. That's what it is. Hot dogs, handguns, and horseshoes. Is that right? Hot dogs, handguns, and hand grenades? No. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know anymore. We didn't need to kill it, though, unfortunately. Speaking of Avatar, once I found out the upcoming Avatar game is a first person, I was immediately disappointed and disinterested. Then again, it's Ubisoft, so probably would have. Yeah, I was about to say. I'm happy that Avatar's first person. I didn't know that. I thought it would be third person as well. That's awesome. At least to me, I like first person, but I know Red has a proclivity to third person games. One says, "Are you referring to the last Airbender or Blue People Red?" Yes. Well, it's definitely not the. I'd be so sick though, man. Oh my god, if they made like an Airbender and game, like an open world game and shit, oh, it'd be so cool. It'd be even cool if they didn't give you like the avatar power. They'd have to though. I watched a game theory video yesterday which talked about how like all the avatars except for kind of like Aang kind of suck a lot. Like they're pretty horrible. When I was like, oh, look at Aang kicking ass. I'm not sure, man. To me, I really think it'd be cool if they like if they made a series about the Avatar series, but they like slowed it down and like kind of like the beginning seasons of The Witcher, like they really had good time with like fleshing out the characters, maybe making sure they did a really good job. Because I feel like it pisses me off so much when so many shows that are like, the reason why they're good is because they're so well developed, they're so great, which Avatar is one of them. And then they're like, let's condense it to a movie. I'm like, why? What? That's totally where you should put like a series, like a Game of Thrones level series, bang. Where it's tons of production, tons of like thought and like meticulous planning, etc. Cody says, I also like zombie related to everything, so that would also be something I love to play for. Yeah, what do you call it? There's Saints and Sinners. There's I can't remember the other one. There was another one that's out too. Saints and Sinners 2 as well. I will say the one thing that keeps frustrating me about VR games, I think it's what everyone is frustrated about. I watched a video from a channel that to me is like the most incredible VR channel I've ever found, but is like the most undervalued channel I've seen as well. A guy has like 1,000 subscribers, and he's just brilliant at making content, like very good. But he had a whole video basically talking about like the cycle of VR games, which is it's a niche community. Developers don't want to spend money into developing it because it's a niche community. Therefore, they make kind of the same type of show, like a very linear, very budgeted version of what they can do, and then basically the cycle infinitely repeats itself because they don't make anything that people genuinely want and take risks. They don't actually ever increase the pool of people that would be interested to try it. So like, why is there still not an RPG, an actual RPG VR game yet? Instead, people are still making, like, there's this one VR game that was like in development for years, and it was like, it's like the space, it's beautiful, it's amazing, it has so many fun things, but it's a linear experience where when you're done, you're done. And it's funny because it's like people are like, oh, I can't believe how much copies Boneworks sold or Bone Labs sold. I can't believe how many copies Saints and Sinners sold. And it's like, yeah, idiot. It's because they're the fucking games that are like infinitely renewable, and also they're kind of scratching the itch of the things that people want from VR because of the modding potential, and also just the physics engine, the ability to climb on shit and all that stuff. And then people continue to dump so much money into VR about linear experiences that are finite and done, and also eventually will get boring. You know what I mean? Like, no one really maximizes the social element either. Like, it'd be so cool if there was like if they did stuff that to me just makes sense in general. Like if they ported Sea of Thieves, which already has like a lot of funny like in-game games, like mini games that you can do with your friends, the social element. If they gave you more bounties and stuff like that, it would be great. But yeah, none of them do that yet. But anyways, the guy said that like the way you break the cycle is by actually investing a decent amount into a VR game that makes a VR game that people are like, okay. Like, it's kind of the same reason why you buy a PS4, why you get an Xbox. Exclusives weren't just to kind of be like, oh, this console is better. It used to be like, this console, I have to get to experience something so awesome that is so enticing to experience. You know what I mean? And I think if they made that game, if they made like an RPG isekai game where you get like teleported to another world like Skyrim, it'd be insane. Also, hey, sure shit, shocker, one of the highest VR selling games is Skyrim VR. Goddamn people, like it's not like, yeah, just yeah. Honestly, but yeah. And then there's a bad example of that too, which I think even Bethesda kind of had to take that on the chin. Which one of the significantly worse selling VR games in comparison is the Fallout 4 VR, which nobody even knows about. Every time I mention it, people are like, what? There's a Fallout 4 VR game? Or VR version of it? And it's because they didn't do any of the work. They never actually reloaded the thing. Yeah, also Skyrim VR for me is how, yeah, that also is a fair point. that makes sense too. That's another thing that will push the envelope forward. But honestly, there's already a lot of that in VR land. So yeah, I don't know if we need help in that way. And Lone says, now in Dead Rising, I hate the amount of time I had to reload the save because I ran out of time to defeat the boss. Yeah, it was a horrible idea. I hated that part. It was brutal. Red says also, the reason I never play Dead Rising games, yeah, is the time limitation. Yeah. The only air bending game we got sucked. Yeah. Well, to me again, like. It sounds weird, but there's a game called like Rumblers, which is kind of like earthbending in VR. I don't know if you need that, although I do think that'd be a fucking heavy, that'd be a potent sell. I don't know if you'd ever do it because Cartoon Network is pretty conservative about Avatar, because it's like they gave it away once and the movie bombed and it kind of destroyed some of the love for the initial experience a little bit. But yeah, I think if they did like sell that, I don't know if a VR. Yeah, I think if you just did an RPG Avatar game, that'd be cool enough. If it was first person and third person, that'd be ideal. But because you'd want to see like the cool forms, but you'd also want to feel like what it is just to fucking like throw a wind gust at people. Although I just don't know how you would like sequence that in a way that would actually be a combat system that could be like developed, besides it just being like put more points into wind and you have higher pressure but you have similar attacks. It'd be the only way I think that could work is if you do like similar to Skyrim, or the experience of having to actually like hold down something or something like that, or get like a skill or a stance, whatever it would be, like is like authentic enough just to be able to like actually extend your hand and like blast something. That's a cool enough mental feeling to where like, yeah, it's the same, like wind and fire is similar, but you can mix them together, it can kind of get dope. Yeah, I think now that I think about the whole earthbending or Avatar, the last Avatar, Last Earth Airbender, whatever the fuck it's called, that could be pretty intricate and hard to actually pull off, and just thinking about how you would do the gameplay. But yeah. Were you waiting for me in there, Goblin? Also, Goblin, do you want to do a quick, what do you call it? What's it called? Burn some resin? I don't know, you're still my party. Aang was awesome, says Red. The only VR game to do that almost is Half-Life Alyx. Yeah, but even that's the thing. People fucking shit on Half-Life Alyx for that, for I think rightfully so. It's a linear experience, but when it's done, it's like, now what? You play it for 15 hours? Like, that's not enough. I'm like, you're not going to sell a person on having to buy a kind of an intricate console. Now, granted, you get access to all these other things, but still, on a 15-hour experience. If you had like a Skyrim level experience, which was exclusive to this thing, which would be kind of frustrating, I realize, for everyone who doesn't have VR. We'd be like, fuck off, I want to play it too. I know. But if they were to bite the bullet and do that, then I think that'd be a huge, huge thing. That would be the reason where people are like, fuck it, fine, I'll buy this. Or at least be like, okay, eventually I'm going to buy this. This is not like, this is an inevitability eventually. And if they have co-op to that, if they have a Skyrim-like experience that also had co-op elements, even if it was just your friend, like one friend also exploring this world with you, it'd be nuts. It'd be absolutely crazy. And it's funny because Bone Lab has elements of that already. Yeah, where like you see like people do co-op. It's kind of clunky, but it works. Especially if people were able to make like a crazy beautiful map and you were able to like explore this map with your friend, that'd be nuts, you know? But again, who knows? Again, I think that's the issue is right now we're stuck in a feedback loop in VR where there's not enough player base. So then people kind of do a safe estimate game. They don't invest that much into a game. So then we get linear games, but with that just perpetuates the same cycle of because they're very linear games, it's always going to be a niche community. So yeah, you know? And again, even with Half-Life Alyx, I think they invested stuff in the wrong system. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at Bone Labs, I think they invested in the right system, which is just a physics engine, which the only thing that pisses me off, though, is that the devs of Boneworks never said, hey, let's use the tools, the physics engine that we already made, and make like like the prototype for an RPG. Like, if they did a Steam early access thing, like with Ark Survival Evolved type of thing, where they say like, hey, this is the beginning part of this RPG experience we want to make, but we can't do it unless you guys buy into it first, and then we can kind of map it out. If they did that, then I think that would at least show you'd be able to gauge of how many people are actually willing to do this. And also, you'd be able to make ground over time. It kind of pissed me off when I seen Bone Lab come out, and I was like, why? You guys basically just like sharpened up your engine. Like, you guys should have been working on a fucking crazy good experience for VR, and they kind of did. I think Bone Labs has all the makings of people to enable people to do that, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. But yeah, I think it's this one. This? Maybe? I don't know if that's the right place. Red says budget and or quality-wise. Yeah. The quality of it was really nice, but like they never used any. That was what I was about to say about Half-Life Alyx. Is I don't think that's a good idea to put it in there. Like, there's a game that people have like crazy high sales, and what do you guys think that the game that has really high sales in VR is? Do you think it's like a game with physics? Do you think it's a game with, I how do I put it? Gun. It's a gun game. Do you guys think that it's a shooter? Is what I meant to say. Do you guys think that it's a magic game? Maybe. What do you think is the element that people genuinely really want in a VR game? I'm not sure if anyone will pick it up. Nub says Skyrim VR from Excited Games. Skyrim's close, but not quite. Kind of. There's a VR game, Jiggle Physics, maybe Jiggle Physics, which we kind of have in Bone Lab. But yeah, the one thing that is one of the best-selling VR games, it's super indie game stuff. Not VR chat either. Social Element is relevant, but one of the best selling VR games right now, and it has like the most dedicated community I've ever seen. It's the game where you have very cheap, like it doesn't look expensive. It looks very like indie, but you have a stat system. So basically, you can go up and you go into like these dungeons, you fight these skeletons with magic or melee, and then you can invest in strength with his skill tree. So you go back to the base and you can invest strength. You can go back and invest in magic. You can invest in a thing. People want the feeling of feeling like they're progressing and they're investing their character, like they're building this character and you're getting stronger each time. This is the issue with like Half-Life Alyx and stuff. It's like, here's a weapon. And you're like, okay, now I can do the same thing I'm doing in a slightly different way. Whereas if they give you the ability to invest in strength and then you could like punch someone or hit someone with a hammer and they would get concussed, that's awesome. If you could like take this knight that's clad in armor and gargantuan, if you could grab him and like throw him onto the ground because you're giga strong because you invested in that stat, that feels awesome. That feels great. Yeah, it's like a fantasy RPG system, essentially. It's an RPG investment system. No game really has this. Skyrim kind of has this, but not in the way that they could leverage with VR. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, and you do more magic damage, you do more archer damage. If they gave you the ability for like speed increases your refresh rate of how one-to-one your movements are. Given you are holding a weapon. So if you have a saber and you just like literally just do the thing that everybody does in every game, including Skyrim, you just do this. You just jiggle your hand around like oscillate it basically, and you hit a person 50,000 times. Well, that wouldn't work if you had no dexterity, but if you did, sure, you could do that. You could just do like thousands of little stabs. Same thing with like magic, like the feeling of like if you start off and you could barely do like your little water spell was just this tiny little spat, like you're firing like a water bullet, and eventually you invest in the magic stat enough to where you're throwing like a torrent of water at somebody, like concussing them back because of the force of the liquid. That's the thing that I think people genuinely want, and that you could maximize within VR. Whereas if you did it in like an RPG Skyrim game and be like, I kind of like the fact that I'm doing just more damage. But if you add physics to that, then that could be exceptional, you know? But anyways, that was one of the traits that people really wanted in a VR game, was the feeling of like progression. Not just like, here's a gun, shoot the enemy in the head with a machine gun. Now it's a sniper, now it's a shotgun. People wanted the feeling of upping the ante as you are more proficient, I guess. But yes. Already it says, we're okay, good. I wasn't sure if you were here to do the thing. Let's do joint operations. The one that I want, the only one that's not available is this fucking thing, which is the only one I want. I guess we could do this one. Samir's armor is a little bit decent. Let's do that, I guess. But yeah, there's a social element. Basically, the things I think people would most want in VR is a social element. Exploration would probably be the best combination with a social element. Like if you and your friend were like exploring a post-apocalyptic world, etc. The other is systems to invest in, I think, is the other huge thing. If people had, like, again, the RPGification of like leveling up stats, becoming stronger, becoming more proficient in magic and whatnot, that would be huge. Other than that, I don't think there's like many other things you need. Also an open world, that'd be the other thing. It's just people just want a place to experience. When you're walking down a linear path and you say like, oh, that's so cool, there's like a broken down window or like a building over there, or there's like this weird glowing tree in the distance. What's your urge? You want to go explore that tree. You want to scale this tree and go see what's in it. But no game does that, because no game has that developed, you know? The only exception is Skyrim, which again is one of the reasons why it's so successful. It's not because it's like Skyrim came out 1,000 times, and Skyrim's good, but experiencing Skyrim in the first person's perspective, specifically with magic, because all the other weapons seem relatively shitty, but specifically with magic, being able to like do a fire blast and just melt someone and just burn them to a crisp is super crazy, apparently. I haven't done it yet, but I've heard people love it. And it makes sense to me, you know, it adds up. Skyrim, and the Red says 99 of the mods for Skyrim and Fallout were how did I? Yeah, it's true. Lone says, have you ever seen the Borderlands VR? That's probably one of the most egregious versions of VR, by the way. Yeah, Lone nailed that because, again, it's like the other thing is companies will try to do a cash grab for VR games, which again is like the same cycle. Like they don't put enough money into it, so therefore it will never be an experience that people even want to experience. You're just like burning money. This is what Fallout 4 did, where they didn't map out any of the reload animations. You hit a button and a magical mag just sucks it into your weapon, which is terrible. Even if they were to do like one weapon with like a magazine, the modders could have built off of that and like mapped out all of the other weapons. I'm sure they would have. But the fact that there's no thing to build off of and no thing to like reallocate to stuff, it's not in the game. They're not going to do it. I think there's like one guy trying, and it's like impossibly hard because he has to like recode and reorient everything. Anyways, but yeah, what do you call it? Borderlands had a VR simulation as well, and it's horrible. It's like there's no way to aim down the sights. I don't think. It's like there's no like way to really play it. I think you can kind of do it, but yeah, it's not great, simply, but not great at all. It is none of the reload animations are a thing, but like if you could experience Borderlands, this beautiful cell shaded adventure, and you like the reload was satisfying. I do also think that people don't realize that like if you were to do Generation 2, like if Skyrim is coming to next gen consoles, I think, or is already there. But it was about to come out. I think if they did like a small DLC expansion for that as like a relaunch of that, I think so many people would like gladly use it and have a blast playing that. But most companies are like, nah, it's just the same thing, but like kind of through a different perspective, but mostly similar, unless you're buying it on PC, which can genuinely completely alter the experience. Holy shit, ow! Ugh. I'm so hurt. Stop it. But yeah, there's also not a lot of social elements. Like, and VR chat's doing its best to try to emulate stuff like that, but not to the extent in which, like, again, there was a moment to me that like really made everything click in my head with like the experience of how magical VR can kind of feel. And we were playing Half-Life Alyx, and we went and looked out, like there was like this broken house that was kind of like you could see around basically. You could see the world. You could see like this sandbox area, and there was a bunch of these broken down houses, and I thought, it'd be so amazing if you could somehow scale this wall and like go and explore that like this ruined city, basically this like this post-apocalyptic, absolutely got thrashed city. And it sucks because like there are examples of that within Fallout 4, but the baseline gameplay is just too shitty to even do. Like you don't want to just a sim to run around, and you want to actually be able to engage with the world, which is tricky. But also, man, the other thing with VR to me that like I don't understand why people aren't approaching VR in this way, because if you ever put on the goggles, it's pretty immersive in a way, like really immersive in a way. Oh my god, Goblin, are you good? But sorry, the one thing that I think, look, VR could very well be the future. Right now, they're kind of doing it with video games and entertainment. But if you had like the beginner baseline education for like junior high and etc. And I talked to you guys about this about like schooling, which I would love. I would love it if they got like all of the best teachers in a county, in a district, who've been working for a long time, who've been really proficient. Ideally, be teachers that aren't just good at doing tests, but actually like helping students understand the lectures and the info. Get down! Why can't I get down? I'm trying to help! Ooh, I got you, barely. Whew, sorry, Goblin. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I think it'd be great if they did a VR experience that basically taught you an entire grade. Multiple grades would be great. But if they did that, I think that would be the future. Imagine you're sitting in a classroom and like this teacher is explaining something to you, but it breaks apart in actually 3D information and is displayed around you. When learning, adding and subtracting, they found extremely clever ways to like show you an experience that's so unique and interesting, whether it's the subject matter of what they're getting you to count with. Stuff like that I think would be insane. To actually like use VR, entertainment, stimulation, engagement strategies that now we know by entertainment means to keep kids engaged, like locked into lessons, and to help people visualize how they should visualize various things, whether that's math, whether that's science, whether that's all of these things, whether that's philosophy, etc. I think that like that's because also that's an immortal version of knowledge. Like instead of a teacher kind of having to try to maximize and teach as many kids as they possibly can with a very finite amount of time when every kid's different. If you had some sort of collective consciousness that was immortal, basically, and was always available, that'd be the coolest thing. Is you could give this to like third world countries. You could give this to people who are like immigrants who are just working an amazing job but don't have like the knowledge to maybe make a much better life or have the time to pursue schooling and like get the course and all that stuff. But if they just put on a VR headset, they could take these courses and they would be more proficient than school. And it wouldn't make school redundant either. It would just make it so that school has to be more about speciality and like fostering specific help and stuff like that. I to this day I don't know why school hasn't used like basically video or film to its advantage to keep kids engaged and stimulated, etc. YouTube kind of does it, but there's still very heavy limitations and they don't map out everything. There's something called Kane University that's similar, but not quite the same. But anyways, that's my pie in the sky dream that I hope VR eventually does, because I think that'd be a beautiful gift to humanity if you could, like, again, create these experiences and you could give these experiences to people who are in disenfranchised countries to get the same basis of knowledge and understanding that you have, at least at this current point, which is apparently decent enough that people can create amazing things. Then that could be a beautiful thing towards humanity. But alas, that's not what people seem to be doing when it comes to VR. People seem to be like, what? Porn and also video games, but mainly half-ass video games and a lot of porn. And people always say that's like the main bastion that gets technology greenlit, but it's been out for a bit, man. There's tons of porn, not a lot of good experiences in terms of, games. I'm sure there's pretty spicy experiences, but yeah, in that way, but video games, not so much. Cody says, Borderlands VR sounds amazing, but if it is one of my favorite games. Yeah, the only thing, Cody, is the problem with Borderlands 2 VR is that they didn't do any, like, the how to reload a weapon isn't fun. Like, you're better off, like, VR has to make it so that there's a challenge or a perspective change to make it satisfying, and that they don't really do that. It's almost like if you hit a button to reload and a magazine appears in your gun, I don't see why. Like, you should just make. There's no reason for it to be in VR. Like, the fact that you can engage with these other things and it's kind of like one-to-one is the thing that makes things feel satisfying and rewarding. When, like, you're quickly able to reload, when you've mapped out how this weapon reloads, and you know exactly how to pull back the trigger in the fastest way possible. And usually, games that have a long time to kill feel pretty bad in VR. So you want to have a higher time to kill as well. So there's things that need to be adjusted to make things feel satisfying, and like this is actually an experience that's catered to this perspective, I guess. That's hard to describe. But I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of good things about the Borderlands VR game. But the good news is I think it is a co-op game. So I think that is one of the few games that you can experience in VR with co-op. But also Borderlands is just a fun co-op game in general. But yeah. Radiant says Borderlands is a banger series. I was AFK and forgot to leave ILMO, but yeah, we can do some res. But thank you, thank you. Raidnade, absolute carry. Alone Sinker says Final Fantasy style VR game. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Final Fantasy would be cool too. To me, I think it's just people want an RPG. People want like skills to level up and actually have it meaningful. That's the only counterpoint against Skyrim, is that Skyrim doesn't have it doesn't have that feeling necessarily. Like you're investing in a skill tree that doesn't reflect the value of VR. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, oh, I'm just doing more magic damage, but there's nothing that like scales up your strength so that like you're actually stronger. You know, like like again, Bone Labs has the perfect baseline of this. This is why I'm hoping that the devs for Bone Labs are kind of doing both, where they're making mod tools for the community while simultaneously building out another experience, whether that's like a RPG experience where like you invest in the strength stat and your character gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and you could literally pick up somebody by the head and toss them like a rag doll, which is what you can do with the heavy. That's the hope, but hopefully it'll happen. Red says Elden Ring style game, but like VR, kinda. I feel like that would be. There's a game coming out right now. Oh, I wish I remembered the name of it. Oh, god damn it! I think it's like I can't remember the name, but it's basically like a fast-paced Doom high skill ceiling VR game, and it seems very interesting. Also, what do you call it? I think I burned all my resin, or maybe I'll just spend the rest on the thing. Ooh, so close. Sure, Mia, take it, eat it. Do I have more to feed Mia? I don't know. Or for Mia to feed me, I guess. I'm not going to be able to get the last bounty. Feels bad. This, and then, nope, stop it, this. Ooh, so close. We could cook food, we haven't done enough bounties, we could open them chests. Yeah, I have 60, I'm not going to do a whole other thing for that. Thank you, Max, by the way. Oh, my chest. Red says VR chat, Elden Ring. Lone says when we get a Skyrim VR stream, Grant. Oh, there's so much to do, man. There's so much to do. Again, I gotta kind of get careful, be more careful because, yeah, I do like my the thing that we're gonna do for our streams, which I find it's fun and also seemingly is working, is the streaming. How do I do this? We're going to be streaming and we're going to be making VODs or shorts or TikToks, whatever you want to call it, for our streams, taking the goofy fun moments that we have and then adding some edits on top and making them have a little more punchy and then uploading them to this channel, etc. Or sorry, a Grin channel. That's kind of how we're doing that. But I do also need to focus on also making how do I put it? Making content on the Mind Palace of Madness channel, because the amount of time that those videos take to make, I would really like it for that channel to start succeeding, which means I need to start thinking about what people want and also how people can find that said content. That's probably the biggest thing I want to start doing, which is why I think we're probably going to move into a series I think people would find is the reviewing mods for Bone Lab, which is already a game that people are searching for who like VR. But to showcase and be a hub for people to check out mods, and then to also still have my side projects of Live Die Repeat and things like that, I think are important. But I need to start doing that because it'd be really cool to basically get again, like I said, if that channel could get monetized, which is pretty a lot. We need 1,000 subscribers on that channel, and again, it sucks so bad because the monetization on YouTube is so scaled. I think within the first couple weeks I could get watch time. I've always been able to get watch time. I can always get people to sit down and watch. The only issue is that it's the people subscribing saying I want this forever kind of thing, or for at least a couple weeks to see if this is the channel that will keep delivering. Especially when people already are subscribed to a lot of channels, you don't want to have another one to subscribe to. So it's tricky when you haven't signaled that you're going to be giving them something that they're going to continually want. Whereas if you're a hub channel for, I don't know, Tower Fantasy, that was working for us. If you're a hub channel for anime suggestions, that's working really well, actually. It's one of the few channels that we have that's actually growing subscriber counts, albeit slightly, but continually. And yeah, same thing with the Bone Lab mod suggestions coupled with other stuff like that. So that's the tricky bit of business right there. But anyways, I do want to get to what do you call it, Skyrim. Absolutely, but there's all these other things where I'm maybe I should focus on Bone Lab and really try to make a week's worth of content of that. Granted, I still have to upload a lot of Share Grins because I've recently made a lot of content of that. Basically, there's a lot of things where it's easy for me to break down in my head. Our Grin channel is going to be supported by shorts. Our VR channel is going to be supported by current popular games and interesting ideas. And then our anime channel is just whenever we get to it, I put some content on there as a suggestion for something for you to watch, which I think a lot of people would subscribe to, just because if I keep talking about anime, I think that people would be like, oh, this is the guy who tells me about a show that I would enjoy. The issue is that I enjoy most things, so I'm pretty much hey, watch the show that I've watched, basically. With a few exceptions. There was a couple. There was the what's it called? This Dawn Witch, which I thought was pretty not good, basically. Red says a VR Blender. Yeah, that'd be cool too. Yeah. But that's the thing that I will never understand about schooling. Why don't you take some of the best teachers in the world and get them to explain something from multiple different angles, film it, and then have somebody who's a great editor, who's a great engagement strategist, some people who can keep things interesting. Utilize all aspects of technology in terms of 3D designing something that describes what you're trying to teach, then giving visual elements to even greater describe what you're teaching. And then having the ability for your student to be saying, oh, I missed something, I tuned out, I got distracted. Let me go back and rewatch that course, that moment, that explanation. And I feel like that'd be just such a faster way to learn. And again, when you utilize all the senses of audio, visual, everything, I think it'd just be that much more. And if you actually have to engage with it, move around, look around something, I think it'd just be exponential. But I don't know. Maybe, again, I do think there's probably an element of like, if you were to pursue that kind of thing, I do think it could destabilize a lot of education. And that could be rough because I think a lot of people look at school as daycares for their children. But I think that could work in a future that supported both, basically. Lone says, so is the Brothers Grin channel dead? I think so, in a little bit. I kind of am debating on just turning on all the Tiny Tina's Wonderland videos. Yeah, I don't want to say it's dead because that just sounds mean. But yeah, to me, I really enjoyed the fact that it's like a complete restart of all that stuff. And also, I'm really actually proud of the videos that we did make on there. But yeah. Radiant says, damn, almost got 100. Sheesh. No problem, buddy. Lone says, as long as I don't start dancing, Grin, like a good idea. Yeah, I don't really like the TikTok thing. To me is just moments that show what we can have a fun time here, and we're playful, we're goofy, we're all that stuff. Yeah. Also, again, I think VR content is something that's interesting to see. So it's probably going to be a focus on that as well. These shorts, as far as I'm going to say. Rainette says, we could do some more dimensional trials as well if you want. I'll probably need weapon materials when Elisa drops. Okay, we could do that before we log off. Just 2 or 3, right? It wouldn't be that many. Select dimensional tiles, go. Difficulty max, go. Match. Did I do the right one? I think so. Weapon drill, yeah. Go. Rainade says we could do that. Lone says so is that because there hasn't been an upload of yeah, no, to me the issue with the Brothers Grin channel, man, was I wanted to know what a fresh slate was, like a fresh start was, and 2, I didn't like, I liked the fact that it felt good to have, like, when I look back at that channel and I look at all my thumbnails, I was like, god damn, this looks great. I'm happy with all the stuff I did there a lot. But also the content would be so astronomically different than what we were currently doing on that channel that it would feel I feel like it would be off to a bad start, because we talked about already how important it is for people to engage with your video who want your video, etc. And I think it would just kill the videos right off the hop, because I think there'd be enough people who are trying to watch the videos before we move on. Also, I kind of like the idea of having a different name for this special place, you know? Also, no, we just need to start up again. Red says, the problem is a school will not invest the money for that, especially in the U.S. Why though? Why wouldn't it be lucrative for them to do that? I thought that would be like, it's, at least as far as the school system is, I don't think it's working really well at all right now. Go again, match. I wish you could just hit like go again, go forever. Just keep grinding this, even if I don't have resin. Just keep going. Lone says, well, whatever you do, Grin, I shall spy. Thank you, man. I do feel weird about the abandoning the channels, etc. I do think I hear this from other people, which I think is an interesting perspective, which is I think you're better off just using one channel, basically. That's what people would say. The issue is that I feel like you learn a lot when you have different variables. The other thing is I kind of think that's a good way to make it so that you don't get burnt out, you know? And yeah, I don't know. I do think probably it would make some sense, but again, there's these moments where I'd want to make this thing and I wouldn't be able to do it. And of course, there's a line with that. You always have to be careful. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people who just think one channel. And I think it's probably really not a bad idea. I just think, again, to me, the argument or the perspective of if you upload everything to one channel, there's a giant consensus of people who don't want everything, or if they do, they want it in like the reason why PewDiePie and things like that I think work as far as his content creation goes is because he has like a 2 months or 3 months span of like just this thing. You know, right now he's in his kind of like, he's still kind of pulsating back between like some fun vlogs and mainly the thing that he I think gets a lot of views, which is like the watching THC or reacting to THC, some sort of weird Dr. Phil episode or some sort of weird other thing, right? But yeah. All right, this will be my last one. Thank you, Ray Nate. Also, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start to wind down. Those Wonderland videos did good for the new channel. Yeah. Well, that was the other thing to me, man, that like I almost feel like I need to go back and reread that book, because that's when I was like, I knew all of it in my head, and recently I got really, it's like a constant balance of like, oh, okay, I started to fragment and lose my thought on this, but I developed this, but now I need to go back, piece that together, and hopefully this doesn't atrophy too bad. And it's like a constant thing of building knowledge. I think just one channel, our education system is fucking shit. The people in charge are managing. Yeah. Well, I think it's also just, I think it's money. Like, I think like the fact that teachers don't get paid a lot, but there's still a fuck ton of money being put into education. So it's all going up the ladder and not to people who could use it actually, or doing a lot of it. Like, I think that a person did like a survey of all the educators, and like the amount of money gets funneled to like 6 different secretaries in like the district of whatever is insane. Yeah. Nub says, but I will say having a second channel for stream VODs is also great, but including Twitch VODs in there as well. Yeah. It's yeah. I may look back and be like, this was a mistake. This was a mistake. It might be, but I think I enjoy right now that I really think it's nice having a channel that's like it to me was a cool prospect of working on a video for one whole week basically, and having a channel that's just like your best investment for one whole week's worth of content, which I realize sometimes the VR videos don't look like it, but the amount of times you have to get like a great run. It's also such as the format of the video, like live, die, repeat, is you playing the game like for hours and hours, and then just kind of trying to clip them together so that they're not like jarring to watch. With that being said, though, the last VR video I uploaded, I didn't really feel like I did that well on. I feel like I didn't really. It wasn't, again, I wanted to make it so that every video on that channel was like my best attempt to making some fun VR videos, some unique videos. My only issue right now is that you can't just be unique, because then people can't find you. People can't find the video unless you're willing to like go to every Reddit that's relevant to your video and be like, hey, by the way, I made this content. I've always felt weird about that. The kind of weird passive advertising, even though it's not, if you made it specifically for these people, it just feels weird to me. So yeah, I struggle with that, which is why I think I need to do what I did with the Wonderlands videos and plug myself back into that thing. But yeah, it's also we've been getting kind of unlucky with like the Wonderland was like at the end of it was pretty much a dud. Even if you were making great content, which there was a lot of great content creators there, it was kind of a dud. Tower of Fantasy is great, but I'm not the kind of person that's willing to spend thousands of dollars into a character, so I couldn't really. That's what seemed like a lot of people wanted from their creators, and I wasn't able to do that. So the VR thing to me feels like also a channel that I could endlessly make content in the space of VR. And I think there's not a lot of people doing VR content that could be a future tip for me to do that. But it also is challenging because you have to make content that's interesting to the mass general people, I guess. General people. Grin, you're probably one of the 3 channels where I watch anything that they upload. Yeah, which again is very sweet. I also, it's tricky because you want to make content that everyone likes, right, as well. But again, I don't deserve such a wonderful person to watch and be so supportive. Rainier says, was a pleasure being there tonight, Grin. Although I appreciate Tower Fantasy with you. Glad I was able to grind the event a little bit as well. Yes. We got some shit done. We still have a little bit of Tower Fantasy to do. I don't know if we'll do it next week. Maybe we'll find like a half at the end of point of the stream. We'll grind out the rest of the event so we can get the rest of the Nucleus' wishes and such. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you kindly for your time. That was the stream. Hopefully you have enjoyed the rest of your night. I'm off to go cut some people's hair because that's what I'm obligated to do right now. Yeah. And then I'm going to I might watch, if you're still here, probably not. I might read that manga. But I also have to watch Mob Psycho Season 3 and finish that bitch, too, so I don't know what will happen. I don't know. I feel very mixed about that anime, that manga, or that manhwa that I told you to read. I don't know how to feel about it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hope I can see you again. Again, quick thing. Tuesday, 1 p.m., we'll be streaming and going for as long as you can. Hopefully it's decent. I'll be working out in the morning, so I might be tired. Forgive me. We're going to be playing Forspoken as much as we can. I really hope I can get my controller working, by the way, because it hasn't been, and yeah, this has been one heck of a stream. I'll say it was fun. It was a consistent streamline, bang, 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 bang. So yeah, great stream. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate all you spending time with me, and goodbye.